R&B money. We up. Thank Jay Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jay Valentine, and this is the R&B Money Podcast. And today, we about this business. We about to get into some real business. You know, y'all be asking me, bring some executives on. Bring some people who really do this thing, really understand it, can really tell you how it go. As serious as we about to be, it's about to be some fake work going on too, man. I mean, it's a lot of hit records. It's a lot of cool shit. It's $1 billion business. I got my brother on here, DJ Mormile.
Man, it's a pleasure.
What's going on, bro?
It's incredible. I can't believe we're finally doing this. I'm excited.
Yo, this is a long time coming for y'all that's tuned in. This is a long time coming, man. This is a lot of years of us being friends and brothers in this music business, man.
It's true. It's a couple decades.
Yeah,
which
no,
is
for
crazy.
sure.
It's a couple decades
for
plus.
sure. It's 20 plus years.
Which is wild.
20
and
plus years,
at the
bro,
same time.
of friendship and business.
Yeah.
And man, and I'm really happy to have you here today, bro. What you've done in the music business is your own path. That's the best way that I can put it.
That's fair.
That's the
very
best way.
fair.
That's the best way that I can
the
put
only
it,
way I
bro.
knew how to do it. But yeah, it's very fair.
And man, let's start from the beginning of this for you. You a kid from New York.
Yes, sir.
And the elephant in the room. Let's get it out. Mm-hmm. You're Jimmy Iovine's nephew.
That I am. He's my mom's little brother. So that's from day one. That's how I grew up. I grew up in New York, and Jimmy was in LA already by the time, I was, when I was born. But
he was already in LA.
Jimmy was already in LA.
Okay.
But still, all the holidays he would come back east, and we was together. So he was a very big part of my life early. So I was around, him and hearing about him, and people being around. He was dating Stevie Nicks when I was younger, and so she was around.
Okay.
My first concert was bringing her roses backstage when I was 2 or something. That's one of the first pictures I have, and it was that was always around, but it wasn't my regular life, because I wasn't that close to him. I was 3,000 miles away,
right?
But it was still obviously a very big part. My mom and him are insanely close. It's just the two of them. My mom's 7 years older than him, so they're so she was big sister for real, and they were very, very close. So Jimmy was always very, very close.
No, I remember having a conversation with your dad. We went to breakfast one day, and he was telling me the story of pretty much how they raised him.
Yep.
How they raised Jimmy.
Yeah, because my father and my mother have been together since they were 15 years old.
Right.
So 65 years, you know what I mean? So it's crazy to think about. But yeah, so it's it's lifers. Both of my parents. My dad's known Jimmy since he's 7.
Yeah.
So that's and he's been a constant in his life since he's 7. So it's, it's as close as it gets. And he's my godfather. So at the same time.
He's your uncle and your godfather?
He's my uncle and my godfather, yes.
All right. It's very Italian.
Yes, very Italian.
Very Italian.
Very.
So as you're seeing this as a kid, is this piquing your interest in music at all?
Honestly, no.
No.
Not piquing my interest, but it didn't feel like a path for me at the time. It was crazy to me. I was like, these guys are nuts. Everybody, it was so off the wall. Everything was so always on high alert. We got it kind of always, something's always happening every day. There's no constant. That the way my brain worked, I was a math major, and I was a math kid from such a young age that my analytical brain did not process that. I was very I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up doing something in math. I'm going to end up as I grew older, I'm going to do something in stock market. My brain was very business school. I went to business school, Boston College. That's where I was going.
Right.
So even though it was interesting, because I was wow, that's as cool as a job could be, probably oh shit, that's a real job. It didn't feel like a path for me. I wasn't a musician. I wasn't but I was really more of a sports kid than I was a music kid, and that's
that's where the sports junkie kicks in.
Yeah,
and you loving to bet, and now
I was
now
numbers,
the numbers,
sports,
and all right,
gambling, bookieing, baseball card selling.
So you was doing this as a teenager?
Yeah, from 14,
you were
15.
A bookie
I was running numbers for guys. Shit, I'm an Italian kid from Staten Island. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah. Like it was kind of like, whatever it is, it was that. I was hanging out at the local card shop, hanging out at the local pizzeria, hanging out. That's really what I did. Went home and watched the Met game with my grandmother, who taught me how to gamble. Jimmy's mom when I was 5. Like literally, like I was playing, like my parents would go out to dinner and I would be playing poker with my grandmother for pennies at 5, 6, 7 years old. Like that's how
great.
So like literally, that's how I was raised.
So back in y'all neighborhood, was it like a known thing that Jimmy was already moving in the music business? Where it's just like, we're proud of him for doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, because you got to think he's massive. Like Jimmy, like before the Interscope stuff was like a enormous record producer. Like he's producing everything from U2 to, Patti Smith to that. Like he was like, so he was obviously he made it out and he was lived in L.A. and like living that life and he was, So yeah, it was very much that. But you mean the neighborhood? The neighborhood was more Brooklyn and the family than like us moving out to Staten Island. But like, my friends, like you got to think I'm like 12 at this time, so my friends knew that like obviously I was like
time uncle.
Like I had like pictures with me and like Johnny Bon Jovi or Eddie Van Halen in my basement and stuff, which was ridiculous and crazy for like just like a bunch of kids from Staten Island who were out playing football in the backyard. But like it wasn't like. It didn't really translate yet at that point until like once I like started to get into college is when it kind of became, well, I guess freshman, sophomore year of high school is when like the death row thing really started. So like Jimmy had
because now it's more connected to the youth.
Yes,
right.
And now we're old enough to like care about music enough,
right?
And it's like like shit, being a 14-year-old white kid from Staten Island. Like,
and my uncle owns a label.
And he owns a label and has that. And at the same time, when all of us were crazy because, Wu-Tang's rapping at the mall, like they're coming up going crazy. Like Method Man's my favorite artist in the world. Like I'm like, this is like, so okay, now I'm getting into it.
Were you getting, I only take this and my mind goes here because of my nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. Were you blowing up his phone for tickets?
It wasn't really
like,
there
get me
yet.
to the Wu-Tang concert.
It was more, it didn't get to that level. It was more like getting the swag. Like I still remember getting, like the very first record Interscope ever put out was my boy Gerardo, who's a big A&R now, Rico Suave. So I got like the robe, like showed up at the house and like the craziest stuff. And then the second record, or at least the second record I remember, I think it was the second record overall, was Good Vibrations, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark. So like those records were like, and they were like both big records. Like huge. They were novelty, but like big records. Yeah. And so like it was like that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, because I didn't really understand what a record label was. Like I knew Jimmy was already, like when I was younger, he worked on like the very special Christmas album. So all those guys were around, like he did like the record with Run DMC, all those records, like the Christmas records. So I was starting to like kind of learn what everything was, but I still didn't really know what he did. I just knew he was in music and he did records with a lot of famous people, and he was successful. You know what I mean? Like you got to think of how young, like now there's so much more on the internet. You could process and see things so much, but back then it was like.
What's an early moment for you, teenager, Interscope, Death Row? Do you have any moments of like you coming to LA? Because I mean, Death Row was a very aggressive.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like. Borderline scary label for people, right? So you you probably 14, 15 years old at this point.
I'm 14 when The Chronic comes out. So the first release.
And that's being released on your uncle's label.
Yes. So I'm 14.
What's your experience coming to LA? Do you come to LA and get to hang out a little bit?
Honestly, the first time, to be fair, my brother, who's 3 years younger than me, actually he was more into music. So he came out first. And James, I have these pictures of him going with Jimmy to the Let Me Ride video, which are absolutely incredible.
So he's 11 going to the Let Me Ride video? He's 12?
Yeah, he was born 81. So yeah, he's 11. It's like, it's incredible. And him and I remember like getting into it, but James really loved music earlier than I was a sports kid. James really he was in a music guy. Like he was, and but my first real experience was probably the Christmas of '94, I think. So it was Doggy Style was already out, and they were like whatever they were redoing, Deal Wise or whatever. Yeah. And I went to Aspen for Christmas. Okay. So it's Jimmy and like our family, and Suge joined us. It was incredible. Like it was like my first experience. Like, and you should have seen. Like, have you been to Aspen?
No.
Okay, so it's going to be lost on you a little.
But go ahead.
1994, walking down that main strip, I remember walking down the street with Suge by myself. Like, we were just like, everybody was there, but we were like looking for like a triple extra large red snowsuit in Aspen. It was legitimately like
Santa Claus.
It was insane. Like, it was like walking, like everybody just looking at me. Like, I don't know. Like, you got to see, like, think about 1994, like what it is. Like, I don't know if everybody thought I was kidnapped. I have no idea. But it was like, we're like, it was, and he was just, I didn't know him. He was just Suge. Like, I mean, obviously I knew him from like all the story and like MTV.
But that's like, the flip side too, though. If you know Suge, is just a nice dude. If you know him personally, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you know him personally.
Like, he was fun as hell. Like, I remember playing pool with him. We had first we went to the ski slopes. he didn't want to do the bunny slope, even though he never skied. Okay. But he wanted to go straight to the top. So he ended up on the like lift with my mom, and they went up together. And then so as they're coming down, he fell. My mom trying to help him up, like legitimately, like stuff that is like so insane to think about. Yeah. Like, and then we went and played randomly. They rented an ice hockey rink because like Brian Turner was out there who ran Priority. And he had like and he was friends with I think he's Canadian, but he was friends with all these hockey guys. It was like Jeff Courtnall and Sergei Fedorov, like one of the greatest hockey players of all time.
I want to say that like that was his thing.
Yeah, no, definitely was his thing. Because they were all there playing hockey, and we all go to play with them. So it's like Jimmy's kids, me. I've never been on skates in my whole life, and those hockey guys, and Suge came. So he's trying to, and like, so I'm just picturing this thing of him trying to skate, and like the hockey players going by and fling, and Jimmy's kids are, I mean, super young. Jamie's like 5, and he's the oldest, 6 at this point. Right. So like they're like just like, it was like, I mean, the trip was, I mean, it was incredible. I remember playing pool, and I actually won one of the games against Suge, and I remember seeing him like years later, and he just came up behind me, and we're at a restaurant, and like people were looking at, he was behind me, so like I didn't know he was there, and the people we were eating with were like looking like, and he's like, "You owe me a rematch," and like walked away, and it was like one of those moments for me that made me look so like they were like, "What the hell?" I was like,
how do you know?
If I tried to tell that story, I mean, we're gonna be into breakfast by the end of it. But it was.
Did you realize though that wasn't normal?
Did I realize it wasn't normal?
Like all the people you just named, all of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, like I was 16 years old at this point. I was based in somewhat reality. Like I lived in reality. Like this wasn't my like 360 days a year. I I went to public school in Staten Island, New York, and I like obviously I had this relationship with my uncle, but it wasn't the life I grew up in. So I realized how crazy it was to come back and like you come back from Christmas break and they're like, oh, I went to the thing. I went to go see the Ice Capades. So I went and played hockey with Suge Knight.
So
I mean, it's like
that's
crazy.
the thing, and that's why I was going to ask you, because my son went through this early on because he didn't live with me full time.
Right.
His earlier years. But when he started to live with me full time, it shifted. But I remember, he would come to LA for summers and all of the breaks and the whole thing with me. And then I would mostly go up there. I would go up back to San Francisco. I had another place out there, and I would spend time there. But then he would come here during those times.
Right.
And I remember having a conversation with him one day when school had started back, and he was like, he was maybe like 9, and he was like, nobody believes me. I said, nobody believes you what? What are you talking about? At this point, he doesn't have a phone yet.
Right.
Doesn't have a phone yet because I didn't let him have a phone yet. And obviously we weren't just going and taking pictures, right? But he was like, nobody believes me. They don't believe you're my dad, right?
Well, that's could be proven, but yeah.
Which is funny to me because I'm like, I'm not even famous, but then he's like, they don't believe I was at Jamie Foxx's house. They don't believe I was on stage with Chris Brown. They don't believe, like, he just started going, like, just running down stuff. And I'm like, wow, like, he lives 2 different lives.
Yeah.
At that time, he lives 2 different lives, and it's really a different thing for a kid who's adjacent at the time to whatever this life is.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of part of, I value that a lot, honestly, like what that did for me, because it kind of helped me learn at an earlier age, I think, than most, like to know like people's real intentions and to like to have that kind of like, it's a little crazy to not know if people like you for you that young.
Yeah.
Because when you haven't actually done anything yourself, so it has like nothing, and it's not your parent. So it's not like you're going home to that house and people want to come to that house because like whatever. Like it was like adjacent enough that it was like, but it was always like, it started to happen in high school where you could tell like people were
trying to stand next to you,
trying to be around, and like trying to be like, oh, are you going to that? Like the way they would ask questions, and like as it got to like, but I just wasn't that into it to be like, I wasn't forefronting it and being like, oh, I'm going here, I didn't really take advantage of it. I didn't really do any of it. So that's kind of what kept me kind of a little more grounded, I think, than if I was like super excited. Like if my brother was 14 or 15 before me and he loved it so much, it might have been different because he probably would have been actively out everywhere. Yeah. And so it would have been like, these guys are all coming with me. These girls are coming with me. Like that kind of shit.
We're gonna go to the Let Me Ride video shoot.
Yeah. Hey, you want to fly out? Like,
you want to fly out?
Bring out my 4th grade girlfriend? Like, you want, like, I mean, but I mean, like, so like that, like, it's funny to think, but it did help, like, it helped, mold kind of my, I mean, very early on kind of.
So yeah, let's get into that because the story I've heard, and I mean, I'm sure listen, you're here, so you can tell me the real. So what I heard, and this is actually funny enough, before I even met you, was that Jimmy told you, we're not doing this Boston College, you're going to be a mathematician thing. You're getting into the music business. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
It's not true, but it was like, this is how I saw it from my perspective. I was on a path. I was going to work on the stock market. That was my path. In my brain, I was going to go make a shitload of money on the stock market, and I was going to buy the Knicks by the time I was 25 because I had to fix them because I couldn't stand watching them anymore. That was like the whole thing. I couldn't take it. I hated them. They made me hate basketball overall.
Did you hate the Knicks more than the Mets?
I mean,
because I know your team. So
the first sporting event I ever went to in my whole life was the Mets winning the World Series in 1986, Game 7. Okay. So at least I saw that one time. Okay. So like, even though even my dad's a Yankee fan, so he kind of screwed me and made me a Met fan. So I thought that, like, when I saw Strawberry Good and the Mets win in 86, this is the greatest thing ever. Of course, they never won again 40 years later. But like, so it's a lifetime of misery even though the Yankees haven't won as much lately, being a Yankee fan actually would have been a lot more pleasant for the last 40 years. Yeah. But like, the Knicks, just that whole run in the 90s when we just couldn't get past the Bulls, that's my high school run. So like, I was very...
every year
every year was so painful. Like, it was so painful. And like...
So you were going to buy them and fix them.
And I was going to buy them and fix them. That was my plan. But like, so then as I worked for one of my dad's really like best friends was a big guy at Payne Weber. So I got an internship. I was on the floor of the American Stock Exchange when I was a freshman. Okay. And I was after my freshman year of college, and I was convinced that like I was going to, like, I had worked it out with the local restaurants. Like, I was already I knew I knew how to go to the restaurants and make sure they delivered us the best food on Fridays. Like, I was going to be the things I cared about. I figured out how to get the radio in the perfect spot so we could hear the games during the day while we were on the floor. I knew how to get the steakhouses to get us. I wanted the best food to come to us, not the other booths. So like, this is how I knew how to wire shit. Things I cared about, which I still care about to this day. Sports and food. So like, it's kind of still what my life is. But like, after that sophomore year, as I'm like preparing to go back for my second year at my internship after my sophomore year, I talked to Jimmy, and he goes, you should come visit LA. You should experience it. And I was like, I mean, I'm not against it. Like, I mean, obviously you like lap of luxury. I'm sure it would be fun, but in my head, I had a path. Okay. And he was like, you know more about this stuff than you think you do just from being around it. You're a smart kid. You absorb stuff. I think you should at least explore the opportunity. And I said to him, I was like, I don't know anything about music. I don't ask you to be a stockbroker. Like, I don't know why you're asking me to work. Like, you're great at what you do. I'm trying to be great at what I do. That sounds insane to me. Like, I literally at that point, like, I thought it was cool and I listened to music. But like, if I was in a car with my dad, like, sometimes we'd have music on, but it was usually sports talk radio. It was usually like, I wasn't like an aficionado in any way, shape, or form. But I was like, all right, I'm going to give you 3 weeks. I'm come out for 3 weeks.
That's you tell him.
In my head, I said, I'm coming out for 3 weeks of the trip.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 weeks. I'll come out, and if it doesn't feel like if it feels like how I expect it to feel, I'll just go home and I'll have had a great time. Like, I'm still a sophomore in college going to stay at my uncle's house in Malibu, who like runs Interscope Records. Like, there are worse hardships in the world to do over the summer. Yeah, there are. I go out, and it was exactly what I expected. I'm there. Everybody's like, in my head, like, what is this kid doing here? He's like Jimmy's nephew. Is he taking a spot from somebody else? Like, what is he doing? Like, but I was like me. I'm like a fun loving, like, I'm I'm not trying to get in anybody's way. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm the same goofy guy I am. Not like I was, except I'm young, I had hair. But besides that, like the rest of it is pretty much the same. But I was like, and he put me in the A&R department. And he's like, go intern in the A&R department. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Forget about like, and then he explains it to me and he's like, listen to demo tapes. And I was like, I'm going to find an artist. Like, I don't know anything.
Right.
But like, it's really funny as we're going through this process. I found one like in the first few days that I liked, and one of the guys in Jimmy's office liked it, and I took a liking to it. So I would drive into the office with Jimmy every day. I would put it in his cassette deck every day. Cassettes back then. Put it in his tape deck every day. And we'd play, and he'd be like, every day he'd like give me shit about it. And like 2 days before I was leaving to go home, it just so happens that artist got offered a huge deal by Polly Anthony at Epic, I think, where she was at the time. And then so Jimmy decides to take a meeting, like all this is going on in the back, and he's like, I better meet with these guys because if something works, it would be the craziest thing ever. He ends up meeting with them. They end up signing with Jimmy on the spot, basically. And then the guy comes in to meet me because Jimmy tells him the story. Yeah. The guy ends up being will.i.am. The group is the Black Eyed Peas. So will.i.am comes in, and I'm just sitting there. La Salsa was still across the street. Interscope was still on Wilshire and Westwood. Okay. So it was still in the 10900 building. So I'm sitting in my boy Scott Igo's office, who was working for Jimmy at the time, and I look up and I'm like, oh, I know you. You're from and we just started talking and we became friends. Mm-hmm. And that moment just kind of my whole life just changed. It was just like, it made it to the point because I'm also very competitive. I was an athlete as much as you could be an athlete for somebody who hates sweating. I was as good an athlete as you could be for somebody who refuses to run. But I was that, and I was like very competitive. So now knowing that I'm somewhere where nobody, like I don't want to say nobody wants me to be, but it felt like nobody thought I could succeed, and I was like, a nepo baby. I was given the opportunity. Right. Now I'm like, okay. Now in my head. Now I want to be great at this because now I want to prove in my head I can do it. And like I had this in. So I wasn't all the way, but like I was like, okay. And I became one of the Black Eyed Peas A&R guys from my dorm room in Boston College my junior year. So now will.i.am is so now we're making their first album. Yeah. From my dorm, like he's sending me like
so you do go home.
I go home. I went to school for 2 more years. I graduated. Okay. So I did not finish. So I go home my junior year and I'm legitimately like, I got a landline. I'm A&R'ing, like he's calling me, like, and he's like sending me, like, I mean, this is how crazy it was at the beginning. He sent me the first song was Falling Up, like the song before the single from the first album. Okay. He sent it to me, but it was 8 versions. So, I mean, I'm so naive and so green that I thought he sent me a broken tape, that it was the same thing. I was like, it's the same song. You sent me 8 times. He goes, nah, man, like, it's the mix. This is up, this is down. I was like, they all sound exactly the fucking same to me. I was like, it sounds like a 25-minute song. I think you should make it shorter. He's like, no, it's not. I remember and I could picture his brain exploding going, I can't believe this is the guy. Like part of it was like funny and part of it was like, but we grew together and it was like this friendship that kind of was like, okay, this is like a real guy. Cause I was always convinced that like all these artists and they weren't real people. Real, yeah. Like it was all like, superstar TV stuff. And I was like, okay, now I know a guy and it's a real guy. So I'm like, okay, so now that's my junior year. Now I go, okay, this is it. Junior summer, I'm going back and I'm going to decide this summer give it the full summer and decide whether I'm going to do music or I'm going to go back. Cause I'm still a marketing and finance major at Boston College. I'm still living that dual life. Like in my head, like I was giving it a shot, but it was still 90% of my time was still school and like my life. And I was helping Will with whatever I was doing, but there were other R&R guys in LA, like really doing the groundwork. Mm-hmm. So that summer, Jimmy literally looks at me and goes, okay, you're not going to get that lucky again. So what you need to do is, I mean, that's a fluke. What you need to do is you need to go through all the artists that are already signed to Interscope and attach yourself to one or 2 or however many that you feel you can help that haven't already, like see if you work well with the A&R guys, if you have a good relationship, and see if you can insert yourself and help. Now that you've seen how Will and the Peas have done what they've done, if you have any knowledge or anything that can help that. So, okay. So I have a few friends at the company. I go around, I'm listening to all the acts. Like I'm working closely with Tom Wally. He played golf. I like to play golf. So Tom was the president at the time. I was around there. Evan Bogart was interning, who now is like, Evan Bogart was interning and consulting A&R there. And And my boy Dean Geislinger, who was in the mailroom, is now assisting Jimmy. He had moved up to become Jimmy's assistant. I come out and so I'm talking to all these guys, and there was an artist that they really loved that I attached myself to, and I'm just around. Bringing him to the studio, going with Dean to here, going to Sway and Tech's house, doing just all the stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm working with this. I go back to school. Now I'm really in it. I got 2 artists that I'm at least somewhat involved in. That Christmas, we shoot the video for My Name Is. 2 months later, My Name Is comes out.
So this artist that you're talking about is Eminem.
It's Eminem. And Eminem becomes like, obviously it's, I was around and I was a part of it. I didn't
and
like.
It's funny because
but it's like,
those 2 stories that are part of your legend that you may not even know about are actually merged together. I always thought, even in our friendship of all these years, I always thought it was Jimmy's punk nephew who found the tape of Eminem.
Yeah, no. See, like, and everybody,
but it's the mix of
it's
the tape was Black Eyed Peas,
yeah,
and the artist that you went to go help with, was Eminem, which is actually a greater story.
And so I got to meet, like, I'm like still in college now, senior year, and like M and Paul Rosenberg, who's one of my dearest friends at this point, are like coming up to Boston, doing shows at the Middle East. They just around, and like I have like photos somewhere of like M and Paul in the back of my Cherokee with me and my roommate Freddie Cardone, like in the front, like driving my Jeep Cherokee to the shows and stuff, like crazy stuff.
So these are your first 2 artists.
First 2 artists I ever was
with.
around in my whole life.
The Black Eyed Peas.
so it's like,
hold on, slow this. DJ, you gotta slow down because you talk fast.
I know, it's because it's insane.
This is insane, bro.
It's insane.
Your first 2 shots, because like I said, it was, and you mentioned people looking at it, the Nepo baby thing. You know what it is, the punk nephew. Like I said, like people are just saying things like and this is before I ever meet you.
Right.
It's like Jimmy Iovine got this nephew, and he did, but he did find Eminem. Right. Yeah. This is what people are saying. So when I meet you, I'm like, this motherfucker's hilarious. And in my mind, I'm like, it works because he's an outsider. This is my train of thought. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all his shit works, and these things have lined up for him because he don't have none of this quote unquote music guy thing that tells him that Eminem will never work, or the Black Eyed Peas with the Filipinos and the black guy and the girl singing, which at the time ain't Fergie yet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Years before Fergie.
They had another young lady that was
Kim
in the
Hill.
group.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
She was like in the band.
That was, you know what I mean? So it's like
3 of them officially, but yeah.
All of these things, I think, for the average music person who comes up in music and understands the quote unquote aesthetics and what this is supposed to be, will probably be like, no. So it took for you to be from another world, in a sense, to say, I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I like this person.
Yep. That's basically
I want to help.
Yeah. That's basically the whole thing. Like, I didn't understand, like, anytime they would start talking, I was like, that all just sounds like noise. And everybody talking just to feel like, I mean, most of them, like, no disrespect, but most of the music industry is people just talking to make sure they still have a job. Like, it's like they feel like they need to, like, from the very first meeting I ever sat in until the very last one I sat in as a record executive, it felt like 75% of it was people talking because they felt like they'd get in trouble if they didn't. Right. But like, and like, we had the conference room booked from 9 to 11. We didn't want it to end at 9:45.
That's why most people sit on the fence.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be on either side of right or wrong.
Right.
And if they were on the fence, they can kind of be like, yeah, no, I did say.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Instead of standing on it. And being like, yo, you the one said that bullshit was going to work and it didn't work.
Right.
Nobody, people are too scared to be in that position.
And, I also understand it because being wrong is a lot scarier than being right is rewarding in a lot of ways when you're not especially when you're not on the A&R side, like you have a job. Like, so most of the label is like, they're functioning and they can run with I'm just working the records you give me.
Right.
So like I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job whether you delivered a hit record or not.
But tell me this too, in your mind, is it, well, my uncle owns the company.
It's part of that. But in a way that not in a way, this is the way. Like, it wasn't based on that. Like, that wasn't my thought. But as I grew, it was a lot more like the music industry and just like any industry is based on growth, based on advancing, based on like credit that you need, getting credit for the things you do because you want to advance or you want to get a new job or you want to get a better job. That wasn't my experience. I'm like from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Like I'm Chris from The Sopranos. Like for real. Like that story worked way better until, you know, I don't want to spoil The Sopranos if somebody still hasn't watched it, but Tony ends up killing Chris at the end of The Sopranos. So like that, me saying that Jimmy's Tony and I'm Chris worked a lot better before that episode aired.
Yeah.
But conceptually, it was like I was a lifer. I was only in the music industry because it was family and because that's what I knew. I didn't want another job at another record company.
Right.
So like I was a safe space and I was somebody who could take chances, could believe in what I believed in, and I could advocate and fight for other people at the company because I wasn't worried about, for obvious reasons, people stealing the credit from me, people thinking I'm trying to, I didn't want that because I already had the thing of people probably thinking I was going to go run and tell my uncle anything that happened anyway, which was actually the opposite of what was the truth because the last thing I wanted was that. I wanted that stigma of like, oh, Jimmy's going to find out anything you say to DJ.
Right.
So like that was actually the opposite. And I kind of became like I feel like I became like the therapist at Interscope. Like I was the person who could like kind of thread the line and like be able to help things move forward because I was able to help. I was in a good enough position in a good enough place as I grew that I was able to help people get their ideas and get their artists across the finish line without feeling like I needed to bogart it and be like, this shit is mine now.
No, for lack of a better term, you rode in the car.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you were able to put that cassette in there and nobody else would have been in that car that's not family or that, you know what I mean? So it was advantageous for somebody to, especially if you took the position of not just wanting to, in a sense, be a rat.
Right.
And be like, yeah, they fucking up with that. If you're an advocate for people, like I said, it was advantageous for somebody to be like, yo, DJ, you fuck with this?
Yeah. No, I was the exact opposite. I took every bullet. I was like, yo, it was me. Like, it was like, because it was like, I believed, I mean, this is obviously, we're skipping years. Like, not when I'm 22, because I didn't have enough, like, equity and success to, like, be able to say that. But as, like, the years go on, that position of, like, being somebody who had his opinion and was willing to, at the end of the day, I never stopped being a gambler. Like, I would put like, if I believe in something, my whole career is based on believing in artists and songs and writers and producers and arguing with them till, like, I'm out of breath. But the second we leave that room, we are a united front. And then I kill, and I would spend every last dollar to execute that vision. And that's more important. Like, that's more important than any analytic could ever tell me. So, like, and that is how we had that's how I had my success. And that's how I was able to, like obviously the early stuff, I mean, shit, the piece took 6 years. I mean, Will ended up moving into my house. Will, like, we ended up being roommates. We ended up, like, really building, and then Jimmy relationship with Will really built. And obviously then Ron Fair comes into the picture. Fergie comes into the picture, and they start making these records. And I mean, obviously, they become the biggest. There were years where they were the biggest group in the world.
50,
like
60, maybe 100 million records.
I mean, there were years where you could argue that Black Eyed Peas were the biggest group in the world.
For sure.
Like, they were that big, like, worldwide, massive. Like, you know, like,
come on now.
Like, they like I got a feeling from Where's the Love.
Him sampling his crowd on Usher's. Come on, bro. Like, you can't do that if you're not performing in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Will's
a genius, and he's one of my dearest friends to this day, obviously.
Yeah.
You were at my wedding. So, like, obviously, like, he's very much like family. So, like, and that's how kind of everybody say, like, my whole career is kind of based on that. Like,
did you have a moment during the Eminem phase? Did you go blonde? Did you go? Did you do it? I don't know if I've ever seen a picture of it, but I just got to ask. Did you do it? This is the most ridiculous thing ever. Oh, shit.
But I had blonde hair first.
Oh, shit.
I mean, to be fair.
So Eminem dyed his hair because of you?
I will never say that ever, because I looked horrible. Like, it was ridiculous how bad it was. But legitimately, when we're running around to, like, do, like, Sway and Tech Show and that kind of stuff, like, I have, like, there's like photos where like I have blonde hair and Eminem still has dark hair. So it's like
No
kind of
shit.
funny. It's like ridiculous. I mean, and then like 6 months later, the My Name Is video, and obviously, I mean, it's absurd.
No,
like, I mean, if you watch the Just Don't Give a
No,
Fuck video, Eminem's first video, he doesn't have blonde hair.
We're gonna stamp it on here and say that Eminem dyed his hair blonde
That's
because
ridiculous.
of DJ.
I hope he used to make fun of how terrible I looked, so I can't imagine that's really where it came from, but that is a funny narrative. But yes, I definitely did have blonde hair. I blame my Aunt Vicky for that. She talked me into going to this hair salon in LA. I was like, this is insane. I'm in LA, I had like blonde. It's crazy. Like I looked insane. But like, I'll send you a picture. You could add it if you want. I look insane. How terrible.
So after you do, or after you're part of Black Eyed Peas, Eminem, what's the next for you?
Well, I went to go work so now when I'm graduating, right? Like,
You still haven't graduated.
Like Eminem's album comes out like 3 months before I graduate college. But like as I'm graduating, like it's like the natural thing, move to LA, become an A&R guy. I didn't know anything. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to jump into something. I need the groundwork. I still need some there in like what I'm doing. So like I decided to stay in New York initially, and I went to go work for Steve Stoute, who is now running urban music at Interscope. Okay. So I became one of Steve's assistants. And I was still co-A&R of both the Black Eyed Peas and Eminem with Dean, but I was an assistant at the same time. Yes.
Man,
so
this is great.
Now this is legitimately, I would argue, probably the greatest floor that I went to go work on like in hip hop history. Like I don't know what it was, but you got to think 1999, the Universal Building, like the Interscope. Like obviously Interscope's an LA office. So like it's a very small satellite office, but it's me, Steve Stoute, Ashley Fox, who's a big marketing executive, Chris Chambers, who's now a massive publicist.
Yeah.
Anton Marchand, Foxy's brother, who was an A&R guy.
Yeah.
DJ Clue was an A&R guy. So that's our little squad. My boy Adolfo was Stoute's main assistant. That's our little squad. Then my office was the last A&R office. We ended, Rockefeller began. So G. Roberson is the next office. So I'm Interscope. Now, G. Roberson, hip hop, Al Branch, Dame's up there all the time.
Yeah.
Like you got like, and then you got like that whole squad. Then in the same building, running in and out, you got Murder Inc. is starting, Bloodline with DMX is starting.
Yeah.
Everyone is in that, like, every day
This
is
what
like.
you're seeing every day.
Every day. Like that's like, so
And this
I'm
is
like.
fresh out of college.
Fresh at like 3 hours. Like I went home and Monday I started. Like it was like, so I graduated 4 days ago. And I walk in and that's like.
So are you living in the city or are you still living
Staten
at
Island.
home?
Yeah, no, I'm living in my parents. I would probably still live in my parents' house in Staten Island now if it was up to me. But no, so I still like, no, I lived in Staten Island and I drove into the city every day because I don't do public transportation at all. So that doesn't really work in New York. But like.
You're driving every day.
Every day. I probably would have swam home first if I was given the options before getting on like the train or anything else. But yeah, so I'm driving in and out. So it's taking me forever. But I mean, at night it wasn't that bad because I stayed late. So if I'm leaving at 8:30, 9 o'clock, it wasn't that bad. But getting in, if I was trying to get in at a reasonable time, was insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that's where like all that initial like and all these crazy like. So I had that early relationship with G and with Hop and they kind of like took me in as well. So I was spending time at the studio with Jay and I was doing this and Stoute was Stoute. So he's like so outspoken, so like, DJ, go do this. And it would be like some crazy task of the day. And it would be like, either I'm going to Jacob the Jeweler for this or I'm going to do this. But it was like real grunt work and real assistant work. And really the reason I love Steve is that I knew he was the only person who would treat me like I was anybody else. As opposed to treating me like Jimmy's nephew and trying to gain points by me being happy.
Because Steve Stoute didn't need points, right?
And he just
Stoute, right?
And his brain was the opposite. Like I'm gonna make this guy able
you gonna work for this
like
shit.
I get it. Like he understood me. He knew how crazy I was. I had already been to Aspen with him at that point. We had funny exchanges and we'd like arguing back and forth about things. I was right about a couple of them. He was right about it. So we had that banter already. So it was like very like give and take. He knew I wasn't intimidated either. So it was like a very unique Most people weren't like, him running that show were very like, and I was not. I was very like right back at him, anything. So it was like that kind of relationship. I ended up not staying there very long because Jimmy started another company called farmclub.com.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And it was like,
uh-huh.
and it was like Jimmy and Doug Morris's take on the internet when they didn't know. I remember buying him Internet for Dummies for Christmas that year because they had, and it was like, I have this picture of him holding the book and his finger to his head. But like, and I ended up, in November of 99, I was supposed to come out for 3 days.
Okay.
And I'm still here. So like I was like I thought I was going back home on Sunday, and like I never went.
It's
home.
like nah, it's
27 years later.
It's
I'm
like
still
it's time.
Here. Yeah, and I just kind of I ended up going to Farm Club. That lasted a couple years. I learned a lot doing that, and then when I came back to Interscope, I kind of transitioned into like I ended up overseeing like from the Interscope side, all the Shady Aftermath stuff, along with.
Because you had already been.
Because I was working with him, and
Yeah,
obviously I knew
yeah.
Dre from like I'm Jimmy's nephew, so from being a kid, like Dre was like
Death Row days,
yeah,
yeah.
and just Dre like so like he's Dre, he's always with Jimmy, he's one of his best friends. So like I was Jimmy's 16-year-old nephew, 17, 8. Now I'm working there, now I'm working like I'm around, so like I was like
Right.
growing into
And that's
it.
why you and I are both dressed like Dr. Dre today.
Yes,
Yeah. I don't know if people have noticed. I did this purposely. If I ever get Dr. Dre to come on here, I'm going to dress
Like
this way
Dr.
as well. Because this is the Dr. Dre outfit. You wear all black and white Air Force
no,
Ones.
I've definitely gone to places where like I can't get my shirt or something because he already bought them all or something. Like it's really
All
to
the
that
black
level.
shirts?
Yeah, like they like, and I'd be like, I don't remember if it was James Purse, some place where I was like, I'm gonna call him and let you give me a few of them. Like he really had everyone on hold, and I was like, this is insane. Like, but like, so that happened at one point in my life. But like, yeah, I guess we dress kind of similar, but
Not kind of.
but,
yeah, just alike.
but yeah. So that was kind of my transition. I came back to Interscope as an A&R guy, and I was really like, now I had like a few years of really like tough love, hard learning. The Farm Club thing was crazy because it was like a company that really didn't like, it was like a great idea, but it was very all over the place.
It never got off the ground.
Yeah, it never really, like the show and the parties with the TV show were like great, but like the label, like it kind of like the business model they weren't up to speed yet. It was years ahead of its time.
So now you're doing Shady Aftermath.
Yes.
And that's rolling, obviously.
It's like, I mean,
it's Eminem.
it's Eminem and it's
D12.
and right into 50.
Into 50.
Yeah. Who is like, so now I'm like, running around with them, finishing that album.
Right.
Like,
And it's something that's connected to the East Coast where you're from.
yes. And it's funny because from before that, like I actually have, because 50 was signed to Trackmasters.
Which Steve
Was
Stoute.
Steve Stoute at Sony before that. So I was actually helping him.
So you knew Fifth already?
Finny, we had met like once. We didn't really know each other, but I was helping like master the album before everything happened when he like got shot and everything. And then like he ended up leaving Sony and then coming to Interscope years later. But like, so like I had already kind of had a little taste of the, like that world before that. And then when M and Paul and 50 showed up at the studio in LA, I mean, it was lightning in a bottle. Like it was
Like, what is the experience like with an artist like 50 Cent coming on to the roster and he's hot as fish grease, but then you get to hear what Get Rich or Die Tryin' sounds like.
what it's growing into
Yeah.
right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been blessed to be a part of more diamond albums, like more than anybody deserves to be a part of. 50 Cent and his arrival on the scene and the momentum and the release of Get Rich or Die Tryin' is the most insane thing I've ever been a part of. I've never, like, the energy around it, the groundswell, the feeling of just inevitability, and like the creation of this superstar, like that, even though it couldn't have been any less overnight, felt like it was overnight, and just being, and how smart he was, besides how hot he was and how everything, like being around him. And like, I remember mastering the album and it was literally just me and him and Big Bass at Bernie Grudman.
Okay.
And I remember because I was so pissed because we were trying to figure out what the last songs were going to be, and it was I'll never forget it because this is before phones and you had sports on your phone and whatever. And it was that Miami Ohio State championship game that I think they screwed Miami out of the championship when they called the pass interference. And I had a lot of money on that game and we couldn't get the album done. And I was like, nobody else is sitting here because this is like, obviously like this is around New Year's and we're putting the album out in February. So we had to get the album in that night and they were arguing back and forth about the final songs and 50 hadn't been to bed in 2 days. I hadn't been to bed in 2 days. Like Dre, the perfectionist they are, mixed and mastered every song 612 times, but like can't argue with it because shit, it's fucking Dr. Dre at the end. Right. It comes out sounding like that album sounds like. But like he just sitting there in that room that night and him talking to me and I just thought he was delirious, but he's like, yeah, man, DJ, it's going to be crazy. Like, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have clothing lines. I'm going to do energy drinks. I'm going to build this. I'm going to do this. Like he had like so many steps and I was like, dude, can we just finish the fucking album? Like amazing. I can't wait.
So you don't see any of those things that he's talking about.
I mean, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face at that point. Like we hadn't slept in days, but he was so forward thinking. About like I didn't say you couldn't see it because it sounded brilliant, but I definitely wasn't thinking like that. You got to think how young I am. I'm still 24 or just 25. I think it was it 02 or 03? But it was like I'm just like this thing is about to be massive. Like this shit is crazy. Like Eminem had just done a bajillion records. We had just done 8 Mile. Like. Wanksta happened, like all those.
You're thinking musically, and he's
thinking world,
commerce.
Everything. He's thinking like
real business.
I mean, I think he knew because of how he was that even though he was on top of the world, he wasn't going to have a 20-year run. Like I think
shit, nobody really has that.
No, but I mean, but he knew like he was going to be white hot for so long, and like I'm going to take advantage of every single opportunity and I see it and I'm going to build now and I'm going to start breaking my artist now. I'm not waiting until the next album. I'm not doing the normal. I mean, you've heard him talk about it, but I'm not doing the normal 2 albums before this. Like he was talking about all that shit on the fly. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And like, it was like, and I don't know, I think I was like the first sounding board because I was the guy who was around all the time. But I'm sure other people maybe was telling Paul, anybody. I only knew me because a lot of times I was around, it was just us. Or we were in a studio and everybody else was doing something else and when we would talk. But he that was an incredible experience that I value and I value that friendship with him to this day. He's the funniest guy in the whole universe.
50's great.
He's the greatest.
I love 50.
He's legitimately the greatest. Yeah. Nobody can say that's my guy forever. But
now you're fully at the label.
Yes.
Fully A&R'ing.
Yes.
You understand what you're doing as an A&R.
Yes.
You're no longer an assistant.
Right. Yeah.
In your mind, are you on I want to help with the things that are here, or I want to start breaking new artists?
I enjoyed the relationships with the artists and the producers and the helping them achieve what they wanted to achieve more than the corporate bullshit that was involved with record labels. But I knew that how valuable it was for them, for me to continue to rise in the company because of how I viewed them, how I viewed producers and songwriters more so than even artists, and helping them get off their business ventures, their dreams, and helping them build their businesses.
No,
so
I think what you guys have built and what has been a staple, or what was a staple at Interscope, was investing in the talent you already have.
Yes.
Investing in the producers.
Yes.
Starting with Dr. Dre.
Yes.
I think that model, I've seen other labels try it, and it's been successful for them, but I think it's just really a staple thing at Interscope. I remember hearing other producers speak about it, like, yo, when you get a deal as a producer, when you get hot, you go do a deal with Interscope.
You know, Jimmy always valued that, and he valued the producer as like the best A&R, best version of an A&R, right? Because he can create too. Right. So like he did it with Dre, and then like, you know, we had like, Will talking about it is funny, but yes, with Will, with Tim, Pharrell, Polo, like he did it like all the way.
Let's get into Polo.
Well, that's, you know,
the run that y'all had together is legendary.
I think it is. I think it's like probably the greatest story never told.
Well, we're going to tell some of it today.
Okay.
How did that connection happen?
So that connection happened because Bubba Sparks,
who I love.
Who's one of the forefathers of what really popular music is today with this country rap, urban. Like, I mean, the album him and Timbaland we made, Deliverance, is like.
I remember the first time I saw the video, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he like Bubba definitely crawled so all these guys could walk for sure.
Absolutely.
But like, so Bubba, like we were cool, and like he's like, yo, I got this group you got to meet, and it was Jim Crow, the rap group Jim Crow out of Atlanta, which was Polo Da Don, Mr. Mo, and Cuddy Cartel, rest in peace, who was a phenomenal voice. But those three guys were insane, and I remember going down to Atlanta to sign them. Met them at the Palm at the now Westin, which was the Swiss Hotel, which has in my career been crazy because I've ended up meeting a bunch of artists there. But and we signed them as a rap group, and we thought they were next up. Like it was like they were Attic Crew, it was like Outkast, and it was Goody Mob, and then it was going to be Jim Crow. And Jim Crow, like they were like the more pop leaning, like, but like Polo was like, you know, and he like. We connected right off the bat, me and Polo, and we like became super close, and they put out a couple records, but it didn't really connect like we thought it was going to. Yeah. And at that same time, 50 signs to Interscope. So the whole company becomes like,
oh shit,
becomes like, as much as it was already Eminem or whatever, 50 Cent had become, because for a minute there, Jim Crow, like it was a big deal. We were competing with other labels. Like they were next up. That was going to be the first thing that I really signed that went crazy. Right. And it didn't, because Black Eyed Peas hadn't gone crazy yet. So it was going to be like, and it didn't happen for real. And I remember telling him, it was Thanksgiving break, and I had to call him and tell him we were going to drop the group. And it was like sickening. I had never had to do that before. And but in there, I had seen him in the studio with Jazzy Faye and all them when Jazzy Faye was producing those records. I was like, man, Polo, you could be a producer. Like, I see how you see things. Like, you think and you move like you could do this. And we get on the phone and we talk for like 2 hours. And I'm like, you really should be a producer. He goes, I don't produce. I'm not a producer. And he goes, all right, will you manage me? And I was like, well, I'm not a manager. I don't even know what the first thing about being a manager is. I was like, but shit, we'll figure it out together. And that's literally how it started. It started as me that next Monday calling everybody. Called up my boy Tubby, who was working for Big John at the time. Yeah. Yo, I got the hottest new producer in the game. He's about to be the biggest thing in the world. Polo. He hasn't. Polo Da Don. He's never made a beat. I mean, he might have, but I never heard it. So like, we're like we are now walking into meetings. He had this one beat, and it was crazy. And we're walking in playing this beat and being like, we're not playing y'all nothing else. This is it. Like, this is how good he is. We're only playing one beat. There was only one beat.
I was playing poker.
Yeah. And it was like it was crazy. We were walking around to every single room, like, you don't understand.
We the shit.
Polo Da Don. This is the greatest of all time. Like, I named him Polo Da Don, by the way. His name was Polo Frige or something, and I was like, what the hell does that even mean? I can't say it. I can't spell it. Like, that's a terrible name. And I was like, and on one of those Jim Crow songs, he goes, y'all know who it is, Polo Da Don. And I was like, that's your name. I was like, that's it. I'm not asking. Like, that's what it is. And he stuck with it, and he ran, because I was like, Polo Frige. I was like, because I'm French. I was like, what? What does that even mean?
Because I'm French.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, whatever. But so, like, Polo Da Don is born. Yeah. And now we decided that, and it's Jimmy's just blind belief, because I told him, I said, I promise you I'm going to make this work. He gave us a song deal. It wasn't a big one, but it was just enough for us to get moving. So we had an 8-song deal at Interscope. Yeah. And now we're like starting to figure it out. He's making this, I tell him, yo, I need a beat CD, so you got to figure it out. He made a beat CD. It took him like forever, and I was on him every day. But he made a beat CD like he was making The Chronic. Like, this first beat out CD is like insane. Like, insane. Like, I mean, Bone Crusher did the intro. Like, it was like a beat CD. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking about the beats for songs that became like London Bridge and Runaway Love and and this is the first beat CD ever. I'm trying to think. There was like a bunch of them. Pimpin' All Over the World, like all these records and like this beat CD. But like, we're walking in, and then our good friend, your good friend, and his good friend from childhood, Ethiopia, realizes what we're doing, and she takes the gamble of her life and stamps us as like, no, these guys are the shit. Polo's the next guy. Right. For no reason other than we said we were the next people. Right. Like, there was it was based on nothing but belief. Nothing. Like, it was like, we were selling, like, you know, we knew we could sell ketchup to somebody wearing white gloves. Like it was that kind of thing. We had it figured out. We were gonna make it work, and it was.
What's the first hit?
First hit was Pimpin' All Over the World. Polo did a bunch of Shaka. We drove him crazy, and like he sold a bunch of beats to Shaka. One of my favorites was called All of My Hoes Is Ridiculous, and it was Polo singing All of My Hoes Is Ridiculous. I mean, that was the whole song, and man, you don't get it. That's still the greatest song of all times. Nobody got, like, you know, it's still like that kind of like, but Polo was originally singing Pimpin' All Over the World, and it's like, yeah, that was, and then when Ludacris did that record, and he put it on the album.
Everything.
He put it on the album, and all of a sudden it was like, wait a minute, like,
this is real.
Yeah, we tricked the world. Like it actually happened. Like
I didn't trick.
No, I mean,
you delivered.
To get in, and then we delivered. I'm saying, but it worked, is what I mean. Like, and then it worked, and the snowball that came from his mind, like the two of us together, we were so, because he's a gambler too. We were so in.
Yes, he is.
We were so in tune in like, if I have $50,000, I'll bet $51,000 on what I believe, like because I'll lose it all on rather than not take the chance on something that I believe can happen that I see now as attainable.
Right.
So like, and now we're talking like, I mean, within
3
years,
it happened quick.
Within 2 years, 3 years. I mean, he was hot within a year, but within 3 years, he had like the #1 record on rap, pop, and R&B at the same time. Did 3 different records. Like it was like, it became like.
No, I remember being.
Polo Da Don.
I remember getting my deal. I did my deal at J Records, and I just wanted to work with all my friends. It was like my way of. I don't know. I guess that's how I've always been. I'm like, if I fuck with you, if I ever come by some money and we can figure out something to do together, I'm gonna call you. And Polo was one of those calls. You were one of those calls, right? For me to work with Polo. Mm-hmm. And I remember him playing me London Bridge, and I was like, what the fuck? This is the greatest record of all time. Valentine. Yeah. Valentine, I'm telling you, this shit right here, it's gonna take over the world. And I'm like, I can't argue with you. I can't argue. This fucking record, I think we were at Chalice when he played it for me. It was like, this is special.
It was explosive.
Like, this shit is, what the fuck?
He's one of those guys that just, I'm going to do what you say can't be done.
Right.
That's just his, I'm going to show you. I'm one of the greatest. Like,
yeah.
But that's why I'm the shit and why you don't get it. Like, and he just goes into like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. And like, and then it's just like, and that record, I mean, God, the insanity he put me through with that record. Because if you know anything about Polo Da Don, he'll give the same record to 75 people and tell them all like, man, until they pay for it, like,
he ain't wrong. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and his favorite line to me ever, you a manager, manage the situation. That's what he would say to me.
Once again, he ain't wrong.
In the craziest, like he wouldn't tell artists till the day before they were mastering their album and give them my home phone number, and they would call me and I wouldn't even know. It would be like it would be, they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to clear this record, and I'd be like, okay, cool, and they'd play it for me, and I'd be like,
that's such and such's record.
That's Ludacris' single. That's Fergie's single. That's this. I'm like, what the hell? Shit. And I'm like, they're like, what do you mean? We already mastered it. We already put this guy on it. We already did. It's like, because these are nuclear records. Polo, Polo, I don't think, he doesn't have the catalog most people. Polo doesn't have that many album cuts. Polo makes like these, like a lot of guys have these catalogs that are like a zillion songs.
Right.
Polo made the most like punch you in the face, single, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this guy with this guy, make this record cut. And it's like, all right, man, go make that. And then he'd make it happen. You'd be like, fuck, okay, now we got it. And that's just kind of how we were. Like everything, there was like a real run there. Like that was like between what was happening at Interscope with M and Paul and Fifth and all those guys, and then the Black Eyed Peas. Mm-hmm. And then what started to happen with Polo on my business, because like that was my first management client.
Right.
And so my company, so FakeWork was born, and with Polo,
which is hilarious.
Yes, it was.
You calling your company FakeWork was the funniest shit to me.
I mean,
because I knew you personally. I know you personally, but I knew you personally, and I'm like, this is his fuck you to people.
Yeah.
This is his fuck you to people. It's like, yo, listen, I get it. I'm Nepo, baby. Look at these fucking numbers.
Yeah.
Look what I've done.
Yeah, it kind of just
call it
was,
what y'all want. Actually,
it was
you know
a
what?
little-
Call it fake work.
Yeah, it was a little of both. It was a little of that and a little of, okay, I don't want to get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm competitive. Now, if I name my company this and I fail, I not only embarrass me, I embarrass Jimmy, I embarrass everybody.
Yeah.
So I have to win if I do this. And I just fucking loved it. It was a great license plate. Like, I mean, the shit was crazy.
Yes.
Like, still my license plate to this day if you walk outside.
I know.
But like,
I know.
it just kind of was, it just fit, like, to me. Like, the other choice for my company name was No Buttons because I didn't have any buttons in my closet. I just wore it, and I thought that was funny.
It's
but
not fake work.
But no, it's not fake
not
work.
fake work.
It was like, that's where like my brain went with everything. And I was like, but fake work just kind of cut through. And I could tell just from the reaction, it either got a laugh or it got a, like, it got like a,
What the fuck?
oh man, now I got to defend you again for something else. Like, I remember my brother, Chris Clancy, like, who, you know, manages Tyler, but he was my right, like, I was the A&R guy and he was the marketing guy. So we did everything together. Every Shady, every Aftermath, everything. It was like him and me. And when I named, like, he was like, bro, like, seriously? Like, I already defend you to fucking everybody all the time because you're nuts and you say the craziest shit all the time and you're just like, you know, march to the beat of your own drum and do it. But now I got to defend it. He hated it. Well, he probably still hates it, but he doesn't have to deal with me anymore. So he puts up with it. But like, it was a lot of both those reactions, but it worked for me because I knew like I needed that just extra just to try to really take it all the way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm really a family guy who loves being with my family, who loves being at home, who loves doing that more than I really like love being out, love being at the studio. I'm competitive and I like doing, but I needed that extra push to be like, I gotta be like A1 at this at all times because otherwise I'll make a fool of myself.
Clearly, Polo's the first management client.
Yes.
Right? And now you guys have the song deals, all of that, and now it's the label time.
Yes.
And publishing and
Yes.
and the world of Zone 4, fake work.
Yeah.
Esther Dean.
Yes. Esther Dean comes in. I mean, Esther Dean comes in like 5 years later, but I mean, Polo saw something. I mean, she had already been in Atlanta. She had a deal she had like a pub deal with like Tricky and Mark and them.
Yeah.
And but like, I remember Polo calling me and be like, man, I got it. I got the one. And I remember him bringing her out to Interscope and introducing her to Jimmy. And it just became like one of those like moments, even though most of Dean's hits ended up not on Interscope, like they ended up, because if you think about
Rihanna.
if you think about it, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Kelly Clarkson, Nicki Minaj, none of those records are Interscope records.
They're not.
But that groundswell
For the people that
of
don't
what
know,
she built.
as we said the artists, but let's talk about the records though. So people that are just watching that are novices toward, you know, some of the inner workings and who are the people behind these records.
Oh, of course.
Let's say the records though.
Yes. So Esther Dean wrote
Rude Boy.
Rude Boy for Rihanna. And that was like really like the first one that really exploded.
Yeah.
Like, and then, because she did it with Stargate. And then that partnership became, like, her and Polo did records that were like, you know, like throughout the years, like Hot Toddy and like Lil Freak and like, trying to think of all the records. They had a record that was on the Pussycat Dolls that's evading me at the moment. They had a bunch of, they did the I Think I Love Her for Gucci, which is one of my favorite
Which
records
is
ever.
Crazy, because it's completely different.
Yeah,
from
completely
anything.
different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like that run she had with Stargate was
Did they do Fireworks?
Rude Boy. They did Firework. They did S&M. They did What's My Name.
Did they do Super Bass
They,
for Nicki?
I
Who
think
did?
they
Because she
did
wrote
do-
Super Bass.
She wrote Super Bass. Yeah, that's like her.
And then she wrote
undertones on the
another
hook.
huge Rihanna record too. What's My Name? She wrote What's My
She
Name
wrote-
too.
Well, we said, yeah, What's My Name, S&M,
Yeah.
Rude Boy. And then like,
It's insane.
Where have you been? I mean, she had, but like Dean just had this sound.
Yes.
And she just had, and then she had her own record, that
Yeah.
Drop It Low,
Still,
which was another one of those moments.
I was at that video shoot.
So was I.
Yeah.
We were together.
I remember.
But it was another one of those moments because that was at a time for Chris after like where Dean put, Polo put Chris on that record.
Yeah.
He was adamant. Like, we're not putting it out.
Right.
We're not doing
Yeah,
anything.
people were fighting
without,
against Chris at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're not really, and he's like, nope. He's saying on this record, and it's a smash.
Yeah.
Drop It Low was what it was called. And it was like the first single from the LeBron James documentary, More Than a Game documentary. And it was Dean just was like there are just moments where you're with somebody where like every single thing she did sounded like a hit.
Yep.
And it was her voice, but sometimes it was like every artist was like, I can't sing it anywhere
can't
near
sing
as good
it,
as her.
yeah.
Like, can we just put it out with her and say it's me?
Her
Like,
run
it was
was
crazy. Like that
crazy.
Kelly Clarkson song was huge. Mr. Know-It-All was Dean. Like she just had a.
Didn't she end up doing like the Rio song?
Yeah. And then she transitioned into. to Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, Pitch
She was in all the Pitch Perfect movies. She did the theme for. She like literally. Dean was like, DJ, I want to go. I want to be in movies. I want to do voices. So my boy Tony Seiler, who ran TV and film at Interscope, the horse guy. He's like, I'll set you up a meeting at Universal. We went to one meeting. She left with a job. Like she left with. Like an acting role, a voiceover role.
So were you managing Dean at the time too?
Yes. I managed Dean through that whole thing till the tail end of that run. But like she was her own. She was a piece of work herself. But she was awesome. Such an awesome person. So fun.
And then y'all also had Hit Boy and Chase.
Yes. Hit Boy was the first signee to the publishing company.
Yo, like
so it was like Hit Boy on the publishing company, and then the label was like, because we didn't have a label yet, but like, so now I'm backtracking a couple years, but the label was, we wanted to sign artists.
Right.
And we had 2 artists that we wanted to sign. Like, you got to let us sign. Ron Gilliard was still running urban music at the time at Interscope.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let us sign these 2 artists. We had Rich Boy.
Throw them D's.
Rich Boy and this other artist who was singing the hooks on 2 of the songs on Rich Boy's demo. We wanted to sign both, but we were told you only can sign one and you guys should sign the rapper because you guys work more in rap music. Your rapper, like that's more what you are.
Huh.
The guy singing the hooks on those songs was Akon.
Man.
So.
Wait. He was singing the hooks on Rich Boy songs?
Yeah. Like one was called like.
No fucking way.
I Still Kill. I got to find that demo tape somewhere. But it was like. Yeah, and Akon ended up being somewhat successful.
What?
So, like, at the end of the day...
And then coming back around and doing a deal with y'all from the label side, right?
Yeah, after he ended up, so... Steve Rifkin I love, so I'm happy, Steve, all the money you made because Akon ended up on SRC.
Yeah.
But, like, he literally was... Like, because, they're always like... I tell stories, and I always, like, kind of, like... I don't want to say out people, but I just tell the truth. So, and, like, back in the day... People were wrong a lot because it wasn't like it is today where...
No, people are wrong a lot today.
No, but I mean, but a lot more of signings and things are done based on...
Numbers.
You're signing something that's already taking off somewhere and you're acquiring it and you're hoping they're good and then you try to figure it out after. And like hope they are willing to develop artist-wise. Like but sometimes you're just acquiring and praying for rain. Back then it was a lot more like, you had to like...
Yeah, it was really
predict hits and you had to predict. Yeah,
he was gambling.
It was like with everything. So I tell a lot of stories.
So were you okay? Let's ask then. I'll ask. Were you trying to do the Akon deal? You were trying to do that deal.
Oh, of course, we wanted both. But I understood why would they give us a chance for both? We hadn't done anything at that point. So like, why would they let us sign 2 artists? It was cocky and greedy, but fuck it, we thought they were both great. Like, and it was like, and. I mean, I still believe Rich Boy is one of the most underrated albums that I've been a part of. I think it's an incredible debut album, and then everything kind of went left after that. But like Akon was, and then, but what I was saying was, I tell those stories, and like it might sound like I'm calling people out when they're wrong or whatever, but I do it to myself too. Like I've been wrong a lot, but like it's because I believe in things and I take chances on the things I believe in. But like on the Akon one, missing out on that one really double hurt us. Because a year or 2 later or whatever, there was this artist that we desperately wanted to sign that my boy, Stat Quo, ended up on the remix to the song that ended up launching this guy, at least the version that played in LA. And that's how I even heard it to begin with. But that artist ended up being T-Pain that we were desperately to sign. And who did he end up signing to? But Akon, who obviously, if he was with us, would have been like, so like, if you think about how much that one not happening turned into like think about Zone 4 at the beginning with Akon and T-Pain. Like it's like insane.
That's massive.
Yeah, like it's like and who knows how it would have played out if Akon was with us, but you never know because things change when relationships change.
For sure.
But if you just do it like on
hindsight,
the odds, like we ended up losing the other artist we really wanted to the artist we didn't sign because he took it to Jive. Because Akon took Pain to Jive. Or did a deal there, like his con, whatever that was with Divine and whatever they were doing. But yeah, so like that was like, so we had Rich Boy on the artist side and then Keri Hilson. Those were the two artists that we started, and Keri was a joint with Timbaland. And then we had the publishing side. Polo had these guys he heard on, I don't want to misspeak, but I think MySpace. They hit him up on MySpace, something like that. And it was these two young, Hit Boy was from the IE, but I think Chase was staying out too. He's from New Orleans.
He's from New Orleans.
And we met them like right around when we put out London Bridge. So it was like all that was like happening at the same time in 06. So Hit Boy was 19. Chase was around the same age. And might be exactly the same age actually. So they've been with us and they were with us from that moment as well. So Polo really, like together we had something special. And Polo really, I don't think he gets credit for how good of a talent finder he really is.
Yeah.
Well, across the board, from producers to songwriters to artists and the visionary and what he sees.
To question for that.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was this whole thing about Hit Boy being in a publishing deal for 15,
50
20,
years.
30 years.
Yeah.
And you being the publisher with that.
Yep.
What is the story to that?
I mean, the real story is Hit Boy's the first person we ever signed.
Okay.
So we had a joint venture with Universal. Very simply, the amount of money we were given to sign our first artist, being able to give them each 50 grand sounded like the greatest thing in the whole universe. Like they had never done anything.
Right.
And like, even when I talked to Hit at that time, he was telling us his other offers were like 5 grand, 10 grand. So to us, we were like, okay, we have this, let's 5X it. Forget about giving him 20, 25, let's give him 50 and start this process. And back then, those deals were like the same deal Polo signed. Polo's deal was for more money, but it was still 800% MDRC, and the records have to come out and they have to be licensed and they have to be this. Like it was like the craziest process of all time just to get a song to count that even was out. Right. Forget about having all those songs even come out. They even once they came out, the splits aren't settled, this isn't settled. Like that process was crazy. But when we did that deal, we thought we were doing something. Like we weren't like, we didn't think we got over on anybody. We were like, shit, they gave us they're giving us a little chance at first. They're giving us 100 grand. Fuck it, we're giving it to these two guys. All of it. We're betting on them. So to us, it was like that was the most we couldn't have given them 60 grand. We couldn't have gotten it cleared. So that was it. Like we maxed.
So, but it was never that. From my understanding, right? I'm only on the outside looking in. It was never about the actual money that was given. It was more so about.
No, I wasn't done with that. Was the start of the thing. And then as the years go on, then what happened was it took them a few years to have success. Their first big records were like that, the song with Eminem and Lil Wayne, Drop the World. And then obviously Hit Boy did Paris for Kanye and Jay. And but at that point, Polo and I had stopped working together. So I was still managing Hit Boy, but I was still working with Hit Boy and Chase, but Polo and I had gone our separate ways. Everything was fine, but it was just, we were doing separate businesses. And right as as he was starting to actually make money, so now it's now 2012. That deal was in 2006. So now he's finally starting to have motion, whatever. And then Hit Boy decides he wants to do the artist thing. So we do his label deal at Interscope. He's doing the artist thing, the production thing. He gets a great deal over there as well. Hit Boy had a deal there as well. I stopped working with Hit Boy as well. So now Hit Boy, by the time Hit Boy and they were trying to fix that deal, none of the people that were working with him originally are still a part of it.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to, and I was no longer a part of the company. Polo and I had gone our separate ways. Polo maintained the company. I maintained my management company. We just decided we wanted to be clean and be friends, and that was what it was going to be. So as that happened, Hit Boy got caught up, I think, in he went to Rock Nation. They were trying to say they could get him out. They were going to do this. I don't think Polo was ever aggressively again, I'm speaking for Polo, not for myself, but I don't feel like he was ever aggressively no, we're not letting him out. He's all right, figure it out. Universal, you figure it out. Whatever, because he had options and he had deals, and then he took another advance, and then it was okay, and and then it just became, it snowballed, and it just became this long drawn out process because he was still in this crazy deal. I can't speak to the business side of it, because if you look at it now, in 2026, 20 years ago, he signed an insane publishing. If you looked at it today, like options and how many songs you got to deliver each time and all, but that's what it was back then. It wasn't like we literally thought we were doing something for two guys that like didn't have a placement of any kind yet.
Right.
We were just betting on them. And as everything grew, we moved Hit Boy and Chase down to Atlanta. They were all in like Zach's when Interscope rented the whole studio out. We had a whole world down there. Like we were putting everything, every dollar. The label was never profitable because we were trying to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because we were like, no, let's reinvest. Let's make them rent the studio 365 days a year. Let's have everybody come down here.
Right.
Let's pay for everybody to live here. Let's pay. Like it was like just groundswell of that. And so it's really unfortunate. Like me and Hit connected over the years a few times and like we're cool now. Like Hit Boy just did verses against Mike, who's obviously my business partner. And like, so it was cool. A cool moment. He said something really nice about me on stage. That was awesome. But like, it's a shame that happened the way it did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and it was like frustrations boiling over and something that I believe if I was still involved would have been handled very easily. Yeah. Like it would have just been like, let's figure out a way to process. We'll give him his own deal. We'll fix this. We'll do this. We'll still partner you in this way. I don't believe it was that hard. It was just like a lot of not even miscommunication, a lot of no communication.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like.
Which is very important.
Yeah. No communication is and once I wasn't involved, me stepping in, I was like almost like, I don't want to say the bad guy, but I was almost like the bad guy in every situation. There was no win for me. I just wanted everybody to be happy and help. But like I wasn't in any part of the business. So my opinion was like, yeah, that's cool, but like, what's your skin in it? What do you lose if this happens? Nothing. So like that's like we appreciate your input and advice, but like I wasn't working with Hit Boy or Polo at that time. So like, and I didn't work at Universal Publishing ever. And I didn't like, and at that point I didn't even work at Universal anymore. Jimmy and I had left. So like I wasn't even like in the building to go down the street to like be like, yo, come on. Like it wasn't like me in Ethiopia and all that stuff we had done. That wasn't because we could have fixed that.
Yeah. And I asked that because a lot of people they see headline.
Of course.
And they don't know the inner workings of business and why these things are dragged out the way they are sometimes, and the unfortunate side of all the other intricate parts that people don't know about. If it's a renegotiation, if it's this MDRC, if it's these certain deal points weren't met. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like publishing is a very tricky business.
Yes.
It's a very tricky business, a penny business, and the whole process behind publishing is for these publishing companies, these major companies, to hold you in it as long as they can.
Yes.
So it's like, oh yeah, that don't count.
Yeah, it's gotten better, but back then, I mean, the MDRC, like you're literally talking about 8 songs, and you tell them 8 songs.
That's
people think that means 8 songs. Like if you have 10% of songs, that's 80 songs.
That's 32.
You know what I mean?
It's 80 if it's
so I mean and they had to be released on majors.
Yes.
And it had to be albums, not EPs. And sometimes soundtracks didn't count.
And sometimes they don't count them on one album.
Yeah.
We'll cap it out.
And you capped out at 6 songs or like 100% on an album.
Yeah.
And you're capped out there were so many ways
to keep you in the deal.
And like literally one of my proudest moments, which is kind of comes from publishing, is Polo was at the end of his deal. Polo's at the end of, no, not his deal. It was at the end of one of his periods of his deal. Uh-huh. And we were like 50% away from them having to exercise the next option.
Yeah.
Polo is white hot at this point. White hot. Like the hot at his peak.
Yeah.
Probably, I think he was the number 2 writer in Universal at the time or something like that. He was like, it was Polo Da Don at his peak. He had done 2 songs on the Field Mob album that would have qualified him for the it would have once they counted, it would have done. So my boy worked at Interscope and he helped, and I sent it in and I called and I said, when these 2 songs license, we're good. And of course they weren't rushing to license it because Polo's next option wasn't even that big. It was crazy. His option was like $200,000 up front, but they owed him like $1.5 million in royalties. So it didn't even matter. If they would have given him the 200, they just would have paid him 1.3 2 months later. But so we're having this conversation. So it was just and this is what I mean by just people getting in their own way, just stupid. So like, I go, okay, fine. You don't want to pay him yet? Like they were just pushing it all. I don't know if it was the next quarter, whatever dumb thing. So I got the 2 songs licensed, but I didn't say anything about it. I just got them licensed, got them official dated, licensed. Mm-hmm. And then Doug Davis and we sent in the option notice, but said nothing. Just sent in the option notice. And like 30 days later, they didn't respond. Polo was out of his publishing deal.
Oh shit.
The hottest producer in the game was out of his publishing deal.
Because they didn't respond.
Yeah, and they didn't exercise. You have 30 days to exercise your option. No response. And it's like, well, their response was, well, you didn't, like the songs aren't licensed. So I said, no, look. Yeah. And it was like 38 days ago. I waited a few extra days just in case. And in the system, it said like whatever day. And it was like 6 weeks. And it was like, they're out.
Oh, shit.
Like there was no.
Yeah.
And so let's just say we re-signed with Universal for a tad more than $200,000.
I'm sure. And probably more than that 1.3 that on top of that.
So much more.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I remember calling Polo going like, we did it. Like it happened. Like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like it was like, and it worked.
Yeah.
And it was like, which was a little crazy because I worked at Universal.
At Universal. Yeah.
So it was like, I have this like crazy thing because I worked for Jimmy, but at the same time, like I was like loyal. I mean, I'm a team sports player. I'm a loyal guy. But at the same time, I care more about my clients and my business than I do about like if people like when they jerked me around and didn't want to. We needed the 200 grand for something. I think we wanted to put it into. If I remember what year it was, I don't know if it was like there was a record we wanted to like put money behind on our own. Paul, like, man, just go get that money. Tell them we want this right now, and like they can pay us the rest. And I'm putting in this, that, and they said no, and it was like. Oh, fuck. Dude, you owe us, like, literally, you're going to give it to us in 2 months. He's your hottest writer. He's working with everybody you want. You don't want to just advance us 12% of what you owe us already? Like, it's the stupidest thing ever. Just to say, what? Just to, like, to make him happy? No? Okay, fine. And I just never mentioned it again. I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to go.
Crazy.
And, like, it was, like, one of those moments where it was like, oh, yeah, I can do anything. Like, it was like, attention to detail is not, especially in the 2000s, so 90s, 2000 was not like expertise up in most of those places. It was like very like running a million miles an hour, trying to keep up with Jimmy or whatever idea he had. And like all the staff meetings were like us keeping up with him really and being prepared and always being a week behind his next idea and playing like running after it. Like it was, I mean, that time at Interscope Records was, I mean, it seems fake compared to like when you go to record labels today. Nothing against it, but it's very like sterile and very like kind of like.
Your company was called FakeWork, so you know.
Yes, but I'm talking about like the amount of artists walking through there, the energy. Ron Fair in the studio, building the studio across the street. Ron's working on the 4th floor. Artists running into my office, going up to Jimmy's office for the meeting, then coming back and parking themselves in my office the rest of the day, arguing about songs. I had like the sports ticker running around. I had like gambling, people playing cards at my desk, records playing, like sports betting going on. Everybody just like there's gambling going on. There's records. It's like Sean Garrett and Polo arguing about a record over there. Like fucking like Drake showed up a few times, like before he signed anywhere because he was close with Hit Boy and Chase. Yeah. With Hollaback T Slack when they were running around at the beginning. Like it was like all these different artists and just coming. It's that time at Jasper just showed up there randomly because he came up with I think Dallas or somebody and showed up in my office wearing a highlighter yellow outfit and just sat there for 10 minutes and I was like, this is the greatest guy of all time and he's still one of my dearest friends to this day. Like all these things and it was like that energy was like that's like the most special time. Like just there was those years that were just like and you couldn't miss. Like it was really like. We were making records, like a gold record was a disaster.
Right.
Platinum record was like, all right, fine, you can show your face kind of thing. Like it was like, but it was.
No, because, you know, it was happening at such a high level. It was happening at such
crazy.
a high level.
It was like everything that could happen. Like,
and then y'all also, another thing that I feel like Polo deserves more credit for is being a producer to break artists, right? Because every producer can't do that.
Right.
Every producer can. Every producer tries. But actually accomplishing that, like especially out the gate with Rich Boy, and then now y'all move into this R&B space, and y'all got Keri Hilson, because Esther Dean was a little more. She was hip hop R&B. She was a hip hop R&B artist. Even though she's a really great singer, to me she skewed from her artistry. It still felt hip hop. Am I wrong in saying that?
No. It was also later.
Right, but like, I'm just saying I'm just talking about the artist that he's working on.
Yes.
I feel like Keri was the straight ahead R&B artist for you guys.
Yep.
And when she came it was like, okay, can he pull this off? To me, when I saw it, because I had also known Keri.
Right.
I'd known Keri from when she was in a group with Anthony Dent from the Hitmen.
Okay.
And the group had performed for me, and me and Keri's funny, when she came on the podcast, we talked about it, and I was like, oh, she's dope. And me and her got cool after that roundabout through Ethiopia.
Right.
And we're writing songs together. So when she did the deal with Polo, and then y'all brought in Timbaland, or she brought in, however,
the deal was done with the two of them. It was a joint deal.
With the two of them, it was just like, okay, how does this work? You got these two super producers at the time. You got Polo, who's been more so concentrated on being like a hip hop producer and having these big beats of this whole thing, and then now you got this straight ahead R&B artist, and y'all pulled that shit off.
Yeah, it was a long time coming.
Yeah,
and it was a very unique situation because now we're getting into a lot of different things on how that all came together. But like Polo. And Timbaland already had a deal Timbaland had a deal at
Interscope, yeah.
Polo didn't technically have a deal. He was just at Interscope all the time because he was with me. Mm-hmm. So when we did the deal for Keri, it was like, okay, they're going to split it. But
wait, so he didn't have a deal at Interscope for Rich Boy?
He had like a one-off, but like Zone 4 didn't.
It wasn't a label.
It wasn't a label because if it was a label, we would have signed Akon. We would have signed them both. Like so, like it was like they gave us a chance, and they gave us a chance with Rich Boy. It was like a one, like a production deal, but like a but treated like a JV. And then Keri, we got that second chance because it was basically Timbaland's deal because he had the label and we gave Polo half. Like it was Polo's deal, but I mean, that's how it worked. And Timbaland, so now that whole thing happens. We sign Keri, and now there's like this law. We're trying to figure out what it's going to be. And Timbaland had this, Timbaland ends up losing his deal at Interscope. Like Timbaland and Jimmy kind of like split ways. Mm-hmm. And now we're trying to figure out Polo. We're trying to figure it out, Tim. We're still working on the music, but like because Timbaland's original company was called Beat Club. And the Beat Club was Bubba and Miss Jade and a bunch of other artists. Yeah. And Keri Hilson was like on the tail end of that. I don't remember if she had technically signed to Beat Club, but she was Timbaland and Polo. And then what happened was Timbaland, like, I remember like Timbaland's now out of the Interscope building, but we're still working on Keri Hilson. And Polo calls me one night and he goes, man, DJ, you got to come to Miami. I'm like, I don't want to come to Miami. It's far. He's like,
you said it's far.
It's far. He goes, you got to come to Miami, man. I'm telling you, you got to come see Timbaland. I'm like, all right. He goes, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. You got to come see Timbaland. So I came down there and I hear the beginning of what is this next run, which is Danger Hands, Timbaland, Keri, all those guys. Yeah. So that beginning of that energy and that whole thing. And then I call Jimmy from there and I go, Jimmy, we got to give Timbaland another label deal. And he goes,
after they had just parted,
he goes, you're out of your fucking mind. I remember like it was yesterday. I go, I'm telling you, you have to do it. Polo was hitting him on the side too. Like, man, Jimmy, you got to meet with Tim. I go, just take the meeting. Please take the meeting. Timbaland comes to LA and he plays a few demos. Keri was on them, like whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Jimmy I remember him looking at me like yesterday, like he just looks, and I saw the face and I was like, oh, this deal's getting done in the next 12 hours. I was like, I knew it and he knew it. Mm-hmm. And that turned into this magical, I mean, shit, Timbaland took over. Like, if you think of that run Timbaland had from 2006 to 2011, or whatever that was, like, I mean, I don't.
Because is that the Nelly Furtado?
Nelly Furtado. Well, that's where that whole thing came from. That whole thing came from. So now once Jimmy does that deal, they send me the Nelly Furtado album. And they're like, oh, they had a record together back in the day. Get Timbaland to do a song. We listened to the album and no disrespect, but we were like, oh, hell no. We're not putting Timbaland's new sound on this. We'll do it if you put it on our label and we get to redo the whole album. Album was finished. Or at least that's how it was presented to me. It was presented to me as finished. It was like Polly and my guy Tom Panunzio, but Jimmy was excited. He said, listen. And I remember calling Jimmy and being like, this is what it's got to be. If you believe in it, because we will deliver. Like, Tim's excited about it. And I remember him hitting me every day like, yo, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? I'm torturing Jimmy. And he's like, I'm working on it. And we got it done. And we went in and we went to the Hit Factory. I spent so many days at the Mandarin Oriental in Miami. Like, I can't even count. Like, because they would only work in the middle of the night. So I'm just sitting there every day. But like, and we made that album. And that album turned into, obviously then he continues to go work with Justin. Then he makes Shock Value.
Yeah.
And then And like that run.
It was a way to kick off Keri.
And it was a way to, and it was like, and in the meantime, we were like figuring out like if those records were going to stick with Keri. Cause then by the time, if you think about it, by the time Keri came out, even though she was a part of that sound, she was like at the tail end of it.
Yeah, that wasn't her sound.
You know what I mean? Like even though she was such a major part in the creation of it, it almost felt like she was like the 8th artist to do it now. Cause those records hadn't come out with her on it.
Fair.
So like Nelly had done it, Justin had done it. The Pussycat Dolls had a song.
Right.
That was originally a Keri song. Wait a Minute on the album. Like those songs like ended up becoming like, oh shit, I'm a writer too. Fuck this. While we're figuring it all out. Yeah. Like what is the, but then like, and then it was like, okay, now we have this, Timbaland's hot, Polo's hot, but what's the record? What's the record? And that was that moment when like Polo played Turning Me On. Was like, oh shit!
I still remember, and I'm sure I said it on the show before. I still remember Ethiopia playing me that record and where I was. Like, you know, that's when, to me, that's when things are special. When you remember like, I remember where I was the first time I heard "Grinding" by the Clips, and I remember where I was the first time I heard "Turning Me On." It was at the valet of the Westwood W,
right by where I lived at the time. Yeah,
and Ethiopia was like, you got to hear this record. I need to know what you think. Because it was so different.
Yeah, so...
Like, people can act like it was, oh, yeah. No. It was really different. I was like, what the fuck is that? And why is that not the first record?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, the record it's different. And I'm like, because I went to the first video. What was it, Energy? It was Energy? She's boxing, the whole shit. I was at that video set, and I'm like, this ain't turning me on. This is not.
I think it was just because you weren't in the video. But
no. Had nothing to do with it. It just wasn't turning me on, brother. I was like,
no, you're right.
Cool song. It's a rocket ship that y'all got in y'all pocket.
To break an artist and really try to cut through in the lane she was trying to cut through in, you had to have something that made people say, what the fuck is that?
And that's
which is kind of like what London Bridge was for Fergie.
Hell
and
yeah.
like, cause it was like, cause if you think about London Bridge for Fergie, it was like a lot of like, when we were making that album, Fergie's album, like they were great songs, but like some of them sounded like Black Eyed Peas songs because the Black Eyed Peas just weren't on.
Right.
Like the Black Eyed Peas was so massive at that time.
Not.
Like it was like, you know, like those other songs sounded like Beep, and a couple of the other ones sounded like, Beep was Pussycat Dolls. No, but what was the second record from, Fergalicious was like, sounded like a, like it was an incredible record, but it sounded like a continuation of the incredible hits the Black Eyed Peas were having over and over that were diamond. But it just like, but to have Fergie have a project that stood out, I was like, we needed like something that was like, who the fuck is that? Like you play it and you don't know who the fuck it is.
Right. No,
and Turning Me On was kind of like that. Like it was like Wayne was as white hot as anybody could be, and we got him on. Polo, I told you, I got you. Right. And then him coining Miss Keri, baby. Like it was like the whole like her saying it, him saying it. It was just like, you know, because because he was like, you know, Keri.
So now he has, at this point, he has 2 solidified breakout artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where he had made like hit songs out of nowhere.
Made hit songs from them.
Yeah.
Nobody had heard of these artists publicly before this. And to me, like I said, I don't think as a producer, Polo gets the credit for that. And obviously, you know, he was the first one to bring back this Black Cowboy thing. I mean, with Kane Brown.
Yeah.
Another conversation I remember having with him I'm about to change the word again.
Yeah.
You know he black.
Yeah,
I'm like, Polo, I can tell he's black. No, you know motherfuckers back like he black. I'm like, I know he black, Polo, right? But
you don't get it. This is gonna be.
You don't get it.
We're gonna be the greatest.
He always say that.
Out of here.
If you don't agree fast enough, you don't get it.
If you knew better, you do better.
Which is another part where I remember telling him, I said, bro, you're so important to the music business because you're willing to stand on the table.
Yeah.
Literally willing to stand on the table where most people will just sit in a corner.
100%.
And when you're trying to break new artists, you're trying to break writers, you're trying to tell people that this is the next thing. You can't just be like, yeah, this is cool and I got this. It has to be, you don't understand.
Right.
This is the greatest because I'm the greatest and I know what the greatest sound like. And you got to Don King this thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I've always had so much respect for him and just that confidence to do that and to be one of those people in our business, because when people don't agree and maybe it doesn't work, it's even more magnified. right? Because it's like you said, if you're wrong on some things, they love to.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than that. Like I know for a fact that like even though it was our company or whatever, there were people rooting against our records.
For sure.
Because we had such a stranglehold, obviously Jimmy, obviously like we had such like a in, and like if it started working, it was just, you know, our world. And no, Polo really is a very, very unique talent because of his ability to live in both worlds, his real ability to put artists together that other people wouldn't do,
right?
To try things that other people wouldn't do,
and be a record man,
and be able to walk in those rooms and sell it, and like really like, like we yin and yang to me and him. Like when we like wanted something, we very rarely didn't get it. So like it was a very, and like, you know, we weren't right all the time, but we had a really good batting, and we like
it's part
that's
of
part of the business, you know, and like but like we really complemented each other well, and it was a really, really good run that, you know, I regret ended, like because.
But it's life.
It's life. You know, it's part of that, and
it's business.
And to be fair, I was blessed with working with somebody else for the last 15 years.
Right, which that's my segue now of then you go and you connect with Mike Will, and y'all go on another massive run.
And credit. Got a money making Matt.
Shout him out. Matt McNeil
was trying to sign Mike to publishing.
Okay.
To Ethiopia. Polo and I weren't working together anymore. Ethiopia calls me and says, you have to go to Atlanta. You have to go meet Mike Will. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was aware of who he was.
Right.
He had records moving, like No Lie was just moving, like 2 Chainz and Drake. Mm-hmm. And but I'd heard like, I think Tupac Back was out already. There were, and all those Gucci Mane mixtapes, like I was a Gucci Mane fan, so I knew who he was. I go, cool, but like, I don't really have like an artist in mind right then that I wanted. I was like thinking like, I don't know, like maybe Soulja Boy, maybe like who could I like rap that I was in, like that I could like try to like resurrect whatever, like if it's something that makes sense. And then she goes, no, you need to manage him. And I was like, he doesn't have a manager? I was like, he's like on fire. What do you mean?
Yeah.
No. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I was like, wait, he doesn't have a publishing deal? I was like, all right. I was like, okay. So I get on a plane and I go sit down there and I go meet Mike. And I walk in the room and I just listened to him. It was at the, what's that place called? That only has the one studio in Atlanta. Silent Sound.
Okay.
Silent Sound, where Sean Garrett worked and stuff. And so we're in that room and I'm just sitting there looking at him and he's playing these records and he's talking and it's like, and he's showing me all the business and he already has like P Nasty and Mars and Plus and this like crew of EarDrummers. Mm-hmm. And like, he's explaining to me the business and how like, he doesn't want to do anything until they're taken care of too, because it's family. And the way he's talking, it just sounds exactly like everything my business was built on. And we're just talking and we're just like firing through it. And I'm like, this shit is crazy. And I leave and like, he's at the end, he's like, yo, we're going to the strip club. Like, I was like, I'm going to Waffle House. I'm not going to the strip club. You want to come to Waffle House? And he's like, nah, bro. He goes, nobody's ever said no before. And I was like, it's just not me, man. But I love what I'm hearing. Yeah. And like, if you really want to rock, like, I see it. And I know it's only one meeting and that's the opposite of me. Mm-hmm. I usually get to know somebody. Like I've never worked with anyone on purpose in my business that I didn't know very well.
Right.
Like I already knew Polo obviously for a long time. Then Hit Boy, they did the publishing deal with, but I started managing him after we built a relationship. Boy Wonder, after we built Dean, after I got to really know her. Like obviously Keri, I worked with Ethiopia after we already had for a while. Like everything was like a derivative of something in my company. Like I never like had done that before. But like, and I was like, let's just start talking and see what happens. And within a week, 2 weeks, it was like, oh yeah, we're going to try this. Yeah. And then we just built out this business. But Mike Will has just the ability to pull things out of people that they didn't even know they could do, and to have a vision for things. And when you talk about breaking artists and like making like that step with the person.
Yeah.
If you think of the amount of times he's done that, he doesn't get 5% of the credit he should get.
Yeah.
He literally had the record that broke 2 Chainz, Future, all those early records that like put like all that stuff they did. He brought like Bands Will Make a Dance, Juicy J, like that solo thing. Like he did obviously Rae Sremmurd out of like
no, I remember
a group with 5 platinum records out of the first album.
I think I was there the first day they came to Interscope. I want to say I was there. I want to say that I was actually up there when they walked them in.
I believe it.
And I was like, who are these two little guys?
Yeah, they had they had just seen like trees for the first time. They came from Mississippi, from Atlanta. Like they were looking at the trees, like they didn't know what the hell was happening. Like that only existed on TV. No, but think about what he did with Miley. Like, okay, like basically killed Hannah Montana and birthed Miley Cyrus, and like that, like 23. I remember Mike calling me and being like, playing me that record because he had done it with Tryin, Rock City, and he was putting people on it. And I go, who are you gonna put on? And he said Miley. I go, who? He said Miley Cyrus. I said, okay, no, for real. And he goes, no, she's. I was like, you're out of your mind, man. I mean, I love you to death, but and I remember leaving. And I come back, they recorded that in the basement. What's the studio basement? The hotel basement? Nightbird at the bottom of the marquee.
Yeah, at the bottom of the marquee.
And I walk in, and that verse is laid, and she's standing and she's going crazy, and he's going, and I was like, I walked in, I was like, all right. I was like, I officially know nothing. Because I was like, I would have lost every dollar I had. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But okay, sure. Like, I was like, I mean, I love Miley Cyrus. I was like, I liked her as a person. I was like, but I was like, this is. And we had already, it all came from We Can't Stop. Like they wanted to cut We Can't Stop. And I was like, okay, I like that direction. But like she's going to rap? Like she's going to rap? Like it's going to be her, Juicy J, and Wiz Khalifa? Like they're going to rap?
You're
like,
never going to
I was like, you're
that.
out of your mind.
Yeah.
And like the record's, 6 times platinum? It was like a smash. The video's a billion plays. Like, I mean, it was like one of those moments. And like, I was like, all right, I'm not going to doubt. Like, I mean, he got like Future singing on Turn on the Lights. Like all those kind of things that he like brings out of people that like, and he has a vision. He wants to help people like grow as an artist. He doesn't just want placements just to make placements. I mean, don't get me wrong. He can make Humble and fucking Formation and like have the smash across the board. Like his run was like, at the time he had like 10 records on the radio at the same time or whatever. Like he had like that mic, like you saw it on Versus. Like people forgot. And then he went on Versus and it was enough people, like it was like, because if you looked in the comments, there was enough people before it going like, I don't know, Mike, what, like, and then you watch it and you're like, he opened with Humble. It was like, I'm playing this for, like, I'm like, okay, cool. Because then we're going to go here. Like, and it just like, and there's 10 records he didn't play that are massive. Forget about.
There's a moment that's been kind of floating. It's about the Unforgivable record.
Unforgettable.
Yeah. Unforgettable. And I'm hearing what that is, right? But as I'm also paying attention to it, I'm seeing it from a different angle, personally, right? I see it from it was absolutely bad business done. I think that's clear. But from an artist standpoint, he was a genius, French Montana, in saying, I need this.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And I think that is the part that's being overlooked in the whole conversation of maybe not your conversation, but just period of like, you gotta understand when you gotta be a part of something. Right? Now, how it played out, maybe it could have been handled differently.
Well,
but if it was handled differently, maybe he's not even a part of it.
Oh, never.
Right?
Never. I'm saying, so like, if you're talking about from an act of, I'm French Montana, and I want this song, that was the only option.
It's a life changer.
Like, but that was the only, like, I mean, like, there are people like, oh, maybe he could have got it. If he
wasn't getting the record.
And hindsight, anything is possible, but no. You got to think, Rae Sremmurd has the Mannequin Challenge, Black Beatles song 7 weeks in a row on the Hot 100, goes right into Swang, which is the next single, which is 5 times platinum. Either we had Unforgettable, either we would have A, figured out how to put Jimmy on it and stripped it on, deluxed it, or B, that would have been Sway Lee's first single. Now, calling a spade, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not a French Montana fan. So I was not happy about any of it. Like I was like, I don't think he brings anything to the record. I was like, this is crazy. The only reason that record cleared is because of people that were involved on that side. I was then working at Columbia, so I was in the Sony building. So they had a little more access to me to try to get me to do it.
Yeah.
Tubby was working with both companies. So Sean was on me like, yo, bro, come on. He's sitting at the office next to me. He would butter me up talking about baseball bets or something and then throw in that he needs me to clear the French Montana record. But like it was him and it was Jenny Drake and it was Zoe and all the people at Sony that were on me every day. And once the record was out and it had momentum.
Oh, it had momentum.
And it was like, we were like trying like take it that we'll make it this, but it was like, okay, like we don't have, like we know we would have used it. We know it would have been a hit and we're fucking pissed. But at the same time, we don't know exactly where it would have gone. We don't know exactly when we would have put it out. Right. We don't know how it will be now if we like take it down, wait a year and then try to put it back out. Like we don't, like that other version will always still semi-exist. Like, so like, do we try to do the best business deal possible and deal with it? Or do we just say, which is what I wanted to do, honestly, was just say, no, fuck it. We're just not doing it. Because like, I don't believe in getting down like that. Now, do I even know that? I mean, shit, the French version may be, because of how hard they went, maybe bigger than Sway's version would have been. Even though like, I don't really think that French added that much to the record really, but like he pushed it and he really like went crazy with it. And like, so,
he went crazy.
And the label went crazy and they bet because they paid everybody involved a whole bunch of money to be allowed to use it.
So now everybody's behind it.
So now it's like, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. And I still don't think we did a good deal on it, but we didn't do as good of it. Like I think if we did the deal now, we probably like would have held on to the record and let them use it in some way, like as we're like learning how to like build out our business. But at the end of the day, absolutely, if you're part of French Montana, like I don't really do business like that, but if I put my French Montana hat on and my whole life was based on breaking French Montana, that's probably the only thing he could have done. Which was steal the record, which wasn't even like, I mean, he shouldn't have the fact that another artist gave him the record to record on in the studio was crazy. Like it didn't come from Sway. Sway didn't give it to him. So like, and then once he had it, he just, I can't say I don't blame him because I've been a part of things like Polo. I've seen people leak records. So I know, and I've seen it work incredibly well. So I understand.
It's funny because I looked at the situation and I put myself in that position, right? If I was thinking like an artist. And I had a shot to do that.
Yep. I was going to say,
I literally had a shot to do that. And I was only thinking of helping their record.
Right. But you're a different person, but yes.
If I'm wearing an artist hat and I look at it and I'm thinking of what it could have done for my career and their publishing and their ownership in the record, I think a record that is probably double platinum now. I think I would have had a diamond record because that record is diamond in the streets.
Right.
The Up R&B remix is absolutely diamond.
I mean, it's a smash.
In the streets.
It's a smash.
And there was a moment where I had a conversation with label people who said to me, you need to just buy this record.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, that's their record. That's their thing. I get it, but I want to help them. And for me, I just look at it like that was just how I do business. But like I said, on the flip side, if I'm an artist and all I'm thinking about is as an artist and I'm in French Montana's position, I'm like, shit, he actually made the greatest move he could have made.
Yeah. It's a slightly different situation because he was also capitalizing off of Sway Lee having the #1 record in the world also on the that was their one shot.
Everything lined up.
I'm saying, but like the record you're talking about, that was their one shot. So you would have been taking as opposed to them already being at the top and you taking one of their, you could use the thing. Oh, you didn't even put it on your album. Like that was the argument. It was like, you guys just put out an album. You didn't put Unforgettable on it. So you're not putting out, like your album was out like 2 months. So you don't have an album coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
So where is it coming? Like what's the, like, so that was part of the argument. Sal and,
it's part of the argument.
And like XO and those guys calling me like, let's be real. Like it's not on the album. Like, so like they had like some, like as opposed to, which again you still could have, but it was more like that was that guy's shot that he was focused on 1,000,000% that you would have been taking, as opposed to something on the like.
No, because multiple people were trying to take that record.
Of course,
they were trying to take Up.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying. And with me coming in, I helped calm that of like, hey, now we gonna listen, Rance, Montel, we gonna go do this deal for y'all.
I remember.
So yes, y'all like involved
in the business. And stuff. I remember.
I started managing. Rance,
I remember,
and I'm like, no. We're gonna utilize the R&B remix to push it up some more, but you guys doing this deal will now have it where you got the power to fight all of these remixes.
I remember thinking it was your record. I remember thinking it should be your record or whatever. I remember the same concept, but I remember. But I also remember you saying, "Well, I managed." I was like, "Oh, okay, it's your business. Whatever you're doing, you had an idea. Whatever you were doing, it was a part of an idea. It wasn't."
But it was funny though because it made me think of, you know, when the whole conversation happened with Unforgettable, it made me think of like that situation and if I would have done business that way. Yeah. And I'm just like, still, when I look at it, I'm like, no.
There were just parts
Just
of
not
it
me.
that were just so crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I
like
just
getting
wouldn't
the phone call about the, I mean, I say it on my own show, but like the phone call about the publishing when he said, they literally said that he wanted more publishing on the song. I'm like, and I literally said, I know the answer is no, but why don't you add more parts? And then at least I could play it for people. And if you're on more of the song, and their response was, well, we don't think he sounds more good on more of the song, so we don't want to put him on more of the song, but because we stole your song and we like your song better, but we want more writing on the song that you wrote that we took.
I don't know if y'all spoke of this or not, but I want to know, did y'all still have a part of the master or no?
We know we have a really strong royalty on the record, but it's not.
But y'all don't own the master.
It's not our master, no.
Wow.
Right. Which would be, but which we learned.
Yeah.
Because we do on Sunflower. Which Post put out. And that song's pretty big too. But I mean, like, it was about like just the
not
business.
Pretty big. I mean, it's just...
No, I'm just saying. But as part of the business, it was like, I think we did a very strong deal. We did very well, and we still do quite well off that song. But it was also like, it was L.A. Reid was involved. He was cutting monster checks to everybody. Like, it was like very like, it was very fluid. Like, the record was already out. So it wasn't like thought out, like Jimmy was already out. Like, if Jimmy was around, never. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was like kind of like Jimmy was at Apple. Yeah. So like, he wasn't like.
So let's talk about that too. What was it like for you when you realized that Jimmy was leaving Interscope or selling Interscope, or pretty much, because I'm sure, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, you always looked at Interscope as like y'all family's
family
company.
Business, yeah.
Family business. What were your thoughts as that's happening?
I mean, it was such a unique thing because of how the Beats thing happened. Like I remember him just talking one day, just like being like run on one of his rants. We're just sitting in the backyard and he's, we got to, and he's like complaining about the music industry is like, it doesn't matter. You could have the biggest hit in the world, but what are you going to do tomorrow? You have to do something new every day. Yeah. As opposed to like the guy who made ketchup made it one time. Right. And they've been selling it for once every 10 years, they make it green on Christmas or something.
Anything,
And like,
whatever.
but otherwise it's like that's a business. I need a hardware. I need I want that kind of like something that like is tangible, like is a product. And they ended up working on Beats, and that overwhelmed all of us. Like, I remember we'd be sitting and I'd be trying to finish records, and he'd put a new pair of headphones that to try to get me to pay attention. He had like New York Giants version. I have like the original version of the Beats headphone with Giant logos on the side of it. I still have it somewhere. I have a Mets version. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, how do I get you to pay attention? I'm going to paint something you like on it. Maybe you'll care. But like, and I'd be like, man, we got to turn this record in tomorrow. You're putting headphones on my head. But like, he was so dedicated, and the way they built that out, I remember being tortured at so many different video shoots. Like, you better not come back unless the the Soulja Boy video has beats in it. You better
quick interjection, and we'll get back to it. I'm sitting in your office, and Jimmy calls you. Or maybe you guys were already from one or the other, and I think he was going into surgery for something.
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
Okay. And
when you guys hang up, we're joking about y'all conversation. You're like, Jimmy said, if I die, make sure that the beats are in all the videos. And I'm like, oh shit. Do you remember what I'm saying? You remember the conversation?
I mean, he said that enough to me.
Yeah,
I was like, because I would say, can we talk about something else? Yeah. And he would say basically a version of that all the time.
I don't know what.
So I have no doubt. Yeah. But it was like something like, that was like the end of every conversation was like,
make sure the beats are in the video.
Is it in this? Is it in that? Did you get the picture? Did you do this? Yeah. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm trying to get like a record done. I'm trying to get this. Like, we have a day to turn it in.
So that's the shift.
And then when that started happening, because I always felt like, my life was incredible. I was like, and I had this blessed life, and like, it was like, there were some issues with being his nephew, the things I had to deal with and the things I had to like, I wasn't able to be as forward as I was, because I think Jimmy didn't want to feel like I was like getting played favorite to. I was never like, I never did any press. I never did anything my whole career. Like until I started my own podcast 6 months ago, I don't think I'd ever spoken.
Shout out the podcast too. What's the name of the podcast? Come on, tell people.
The podcast is called The Third Verse. Yeah. It's fun. It's me, my guy, Stat Quo, who is the craziest person in the whole world.
I love.
An incredible hip hop journalist, Justin Hunt, who is the brains of the operation and deals with us two idiots. But like, that's a blast. But I mean, until I did that, I had never spoken. Yeah. Like if you think about the amount of records I was a part of, the way all these A&Rs and all these people take credit for things just because their name is on them. Like if that's how it works, then I don't know how many records I sold. 1 billion? I have like 100 million. Like if you put, because my name's on every Eminem record, every 50 record, every Black Eyed Peas record. If that's how it works.
It's how it works, bro.
I mean, okay.
It is how it works.
Okay, then I'm a music genius.
You're
I don't know, but I'm saying like.
You know who you are? You're McDonald's.
Yes. I mean,
you're over
basically.
billion sold.
Yeah. So it's like, but I never like said it. So, but outside of that, like my life was incredible based on the opportunity I was given.
Right.
And I get to like do all this amazing stuff for all the people I love. I'm able to give everybody an opportunity. Like if you think of all the, like basically every assistant I ever had is now a big shot somewhere. Like I take as much pride in that as I did like either assistant or intern at the neighboring, but in our world, I mean, between like.
Became the people.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Erica's doing great. Erica Coulter. I mean, Chelsea's doing great. Like, Tunji. Like, Manny is Manny. Archie is Archie. Like, these guys are all, like, you got like...
Major players.
They're all... I mean, they've all built insane businesses for themselves. I could work for any one of those people at this point. Like, so that's insane. And, like... But, so now I have this, but then when Jimmy... I could see him starting to transition out. Like, I kind of was like... I was happy for him at the end of the day because I was never like married to being a record executive like at a record label. Like I don't mind doing it and I like doing it because of the opportunities it gives my clients. But I never loved it for that. I'm fine. I do it. If an amazing opportunity came up again, I might just do it again. But like as far as like it wasn't like I was like, man, I can't believe he's like leaving. Like, I mean, like I felt like it was time for him. He was ready. And it was such an incredible opportunity, an incredible ride. Right. What he did, build that into a multi-billion-dollar business.
Right.
And I technically left first. So once I knew that was happening, I kind of transitioned myself out of it. I stayed on as a consultant, started building my own shit and like really started building the stuff with Mike. And so it was like.
Do you own some of Beats?
No.
So wait, you weren't even in the first round?
Do I own Beats?
No, I'm not.
It would be amazing.
Beats, but I'm saying, did you get
I'd have 2 of these or 3 or something.
Hilarious. I'm sure you wouldn't. But I'm saying like you weren't in like the first round of investment or nothing?
I was not in the first round of investment.
So LeBron owns more Beats than you do?
Yeah.
What the fuck, DJ? We could have got out the hood.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, you're not in the hood, but whatever.
No. I mean, kind of.
No,
kind of.
Fucking not, bro.
Well, kind of. I mean.
Damn, dog, you didn't get no
I got headphones.
Some stock. No, fuck all this. We talking about stock, dog.
I mean, I got some stock. I got some Apple stock.
Okay,
like, I mean, like I'm smart enough to make sure I had that. But I mean, like, as far as like,
because you did put it in all the videos.
I did put it in a lot of videos.
Jimmy owe you something for that. I did put it in a lot of
videos. If that's how you get paid, then yes, I definitely got the short end of the stick. If it's by putting it in videos, yeah, I should. No,
it's funny. I remember I'm at. I don't know if I'm at the office or. We were at Larry's house for something. No, we were at Larry's house for something.
That's what I was going to guess. Yeah.
And Jimmy goes, Jay, right? Just random. He's back there and he's like, Jay, isn't your friend one of those baseball guys? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is what dating Rihanna, right? I'm like, he is. Should he wear Beats?
That's as simple as it was.
And I'm like, he should.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him. I'm going to call his agent, man. And next thing I know, Matt Kemp is in the middle of Times Square with Beats headphones on a big-ass building.
Yeah.
It was so interesting how Jimmy operated.
Yeah.
It was so interesting how he operated,
It was literally
bro.
hand to hand.
It was like, yo.
He was walking around handing it. He was literally walking around putting it on people's heads and taking pictures.
That was the conversation.
It was crazy.
Your friend is the baseball guy.
Like you said, yeah. I mean, I remember just showing up at the house one day and I'm eating dinner with his kids and we're just talking. He shows up and he had like Polaroids and it was like, not Polaroids, but like actual photos.
Yeah.
And it was like Dwight Howard and then like this person and that. I was like, what did you do? Just like walk around and just put it like, what?
Listen,
Barry Bonds.
The funniest experience and the worst Super Bowl experience for me was watching a Super Bowl at his house. And all he cared about was the halftime show so that they could talk about, or I think it was, I don't know if it was the launch of Apple Music or it was something. But like, I'm like, Jimmy, it's a football game going on.
Oh yeah, the football game was the atmosphere for the Beats commercial.
For the Beats commercial.
Which was the one with the Black Eyed Peas? When it was the B?
Yes.
Like he really worked it into the stage? Oh, I mean, let's...
Jimmy gave 2 shits about the football game.
Oh, of course.
I'm trying to watch the football game.
He's like, right, yeah. So like, he's like,
halftime show.
Yeah, he's like, these 22 guys are in the way of what we're trying to do here. Yeah, no, 100%. But it was,
but not even the halftime show. The halftime commercial.
Yeah. No, it was like the whole, like he...
And I want to say he was rewinding the commercial as the game had started back on.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Larry, I'm out of here, bro. Jimmy just wants to watch commercials.
But
he was
I don't blame him.
But,
If
right,
that was me, I would only
either.
wanted to watch commercials too.
Exactly. But he was so, for lack of a better term, he was so hell-bent
Oh, yeah.
on
Once he
those
smelled
headphones.
Once he smelled it, it was relentless. Him and Dre, it was, I mean, shit. It's the blueprint for anybody trying to do,
Another funny moment.
Okay.
As we were at breakfast with your dad.
Okay.
And this, I think this might have been my first time meeting your dad. And you go, hey, Dad, guess who Jay's friend is? I don't know if you remember this shit. And I'm eating my breakfast, and you go, that's Tyrese's friend.
Yeah.
And your dad stops, and he goes, you talking about the guy who almost fucked up our $1 billion? And I'm like, oh, shit.
I was like, it was right
the
after
mafia
that.
about to kill me.
It was right after all that shit happened with
After
that
the
crazy
Dr. Dre,
thing. We're the
Tyrese
billionaire.
announcing
We're
the
the
deal when nobody
hip-hop
knows that.
billionaire.
I'm like, oh shit,
That shit was insane.
Man, Pop's about to get me knocked off, man, because I know Tyrese.
Oh, that was funny. I remember that. I do remember that because that was like right after it had all calmed down.
Yeah,
Like it was like right after like the deal got done. Obviously the new number, whatever, but it got done, and it was like okay, everybody could breathe. But that day, oh my God, I remember seeing it and being like I bust Jimmy's balls over it. Like we used to get at each other like about anything. Like I didn't that day. I didn't even know. Like there was no there was no work. I couldn't even imagine because I know him so well, and I know like I've been around him in some crazy moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even imagine what went through his mind at that moment. But all things worked out.
you know, it worked out.
Everything is okay.
And
but that was crazy.
Tyrese is still
Tyrese is
doing
still
verses.
Tyrese is still Tyrese.
And they let him in the Apple building.
Yeah, they let him in the
Apple building.
They let him in
to
the
do
Apple
verses. I think him and Dre.
Well, I mean,
it's
Apple-
cool.
I mean, shit.
Well, it
Apple
worked
paid
out
less
for them.
money.
Yeah, they
I mean,
right.
so they probably
shit.
carried him into the building. No, but
we have your $300 million carriage.
I was like, that's the wrong side of that.
Man. So
But, yeah.
your management,
Yes.
Keisha Cole,
Yeah.
you went full R&B.
Yeah.
You went full R&B. After all your years at labels, all the hip hop, all the shit, you're like, okay, I'm gonna manage Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole has been one of my dearest friends for 20 years.
Yeah.
So probably about as long as I know you, in that same ballpark.
Yeah.
So I got to watch her grow. She was originally signed to Damon Elliott, and my girlfriend at the time was Damon's assistant. So she was always like getting driven around and whatever. So I met her very early on, and then obviously watching her
Keisha
record
didn't
all
have
the
a
records
license.
with. Yeah, I mean, so many people I work with don't have drive. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's like, but yeah.
I went
so
with Keisha to buy her first car.
I believe it.
And she didn't have a license, and she was mad at Ron Fair because they wouldn't let her buy the car that he had given her more, whatever the advance, whatever it is, to get the car, and told her she was going to get it. And she's like, Ron, they won't give me the car. And I'm like, Keisha, you don't have a license, and I don't think they're going to sell it to you.
There's like a whole process involved,
you got to have a driver's
like
license.
laws and stuff.
Yeah, you got to have a driver's license. She's pissed.
Yeah, it sounds about right. But so, I mean, I've been around for all of it, and I've watched all her, her growth, her ups, her downs, everything that she's been through. And
Well, you weren't at the first video.
I was not. No,
You weren't there.
I mean, you're still arguably the greatest video vixen of all time.
And you weren't there, bro.
Yeah, like, I
you're
mean,
my
like,
brother. You should have been
I
there
know, I didn't know.
as a support system for
I didn't
me.
know until after the
It
fact.
was-
I would have had you sign an autograph. It would have been incredible.
Bro. It was tough.
I still talk about it.
If you was there, I might have got paid. Because I didn't get paid for that video either.
You're incredible.
It's fine.
You're incredible. But yes, so, you being in the video made her a star. And then after that,
I don't think so. But okay.
no, but then I'm just saying after that, so now I've been able to watch her whole career as a friend and be around. Obviously, I'm Ron Fair, incredible. I was a part of, got to be like a fly on the wall for a lot of that, just supportive, and we were very close forever, and we just remained friends after I left Interscope, after she left Interscope or A&M, but part of Interscope.
Yeah,
and I believe she is one of the greats. I just truly believe that. And I believe she is greater than she is even given credit for. Considerably greater than she is given credit for.
Yeah.
So I always told her that. I was always on like, I believe you're like one of those ones. Like you are every bit in that GOAT conversation. That's just how I feel about you. And I'll never change that. And when she would always tell, well, you should work with me, you should do this. But I always had like jobs. And like managing producers and songwriters and things like that.
Different than artists.
And is like, and especially somebody, I don't want to say I don't care about all artists, but somebody that I care that deeply about and that has been my friend for that long and that I've been campaigning for her to be the biggest thing on earth to her for so long, I knew what that would take to do that. So when I left Def Jam, when I left finally 3 years ago, literally my first call was to her. And I was like, hey, because she had talked to me like a little while before, like, hey, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm figuring out stuff. I'm trying to figure out like where I am. And she came to visit me at Javier's every once in a while. She would come to eat and we were still friends, but like and I was like, well, if that's really what you're talking about, I'm not big on taking or poaching or doing any of that stuff. But if that's what you're going to do, like the timing would be now because I see a path. There's like you got to take the business more seriously to me. Like you should be doing so much bigger shows. The next album you make should be incredible ode to everything you've done and like a resurgence, like all these things that if we do this, I don't want to jump in just to be like somebody who gets a piece of what you're already doing that you don't anybody can do that. Right. I'll just be your friend. I don't need to do that. If you want to really swing and you want to try to build this thing out the way I think we can build it out, let's do it. And I know, and like we've started, it's taken a couple of years, but we've really, I think, built the live business to a place where she did her real first two headline arena tours, including a 20-year anniversary arena AEG, great tour that she had a great run on. And like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of how she's built and how hard she's worked and how she's built hers and really reasserted herself in the conversation. And now it's the fun part to me. Now it's when we go, I think, make that album that makes everybody, remember. And that's where I think, and that's where we're at now. We're about right at that.
And you full in R&B world now, bro. And that's, when most people gonna watch this and be like, why? Because, we get that shit. He don't do R&B. Well, yes, he does do R&B, and he's been a part of R&B shit and great things, but this is also a show of business. But the fact also that you are working with, a dear friend of mine who I love, and you are a dear friend of mine, and who is a legend in the R&B space, right? And I love what you're doing business-wise, what you guys are doing together. Because I've been watching the resurgence. I've been watching the moves of, like you said, the touring business and figuring out how to put her in a space that she deserves to be in. Mm-hmm. And that's not easy. And most people just think like, oh, it's such and such. So no, there are things that have to happen. There are conversations that have to happen. And there are moves that need to be made to put you in that space. And man, I'm glad y'all working together.
Me too.
I'm glad y'all working together. I can't wait to hear the album.
No, I mean, it's like trying to think of the right words, but I'm very excited for what the next year, like it's a challenge and it's going to be a challenge, but it's
so y'all working on it. It's y'all in motion.
We're in the stage of really like locking in on what it's going to be, but it's like we're there and we're to the point where now we've built the business, we've built the live business up right, we've built it up to a point that we could do this and not and that won't slow the momentum of having done the tours and not being like, well, we kind of like planted the seeds, but then we stepped away and then so now it's like, okay, now it's like time to make that.
So the other question that my audience wants to know, when the fuck is she coming on the R&B Money podcast? You're the manager.
Manage the situation?
Manage the situation. You knew where I was going with this.
It all comes back to Polo Da Don.
Everything comes back to Polo Da Don.
It all comes back to Polo Da Don. We got to I mean, that conversation would be too epic. We have to make it happen. The two of you guys together is as fun as it, like,
what are we
as
doing?
fun as I know how the two of us talking are and the two of Cashe and I talking, we gotta figure it out.
So is she coming on this podcast?
We gotta figure it out. Do you guys have a Southeast edition? We
you want me to go where she's at?
We got to figure it out.
I'm saying I'll go where she's at. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we got to figure it out.
Nah, you don't give me this figure this shit out.
I'm saying
is she coming on the podcast?
You want me to say yes? Okay, yes, she's coming on the podcast.
Motherfucker, yeah.
We're gonna figure
you my
it out.
real friend in real life. I'm not about to do this shit with you. Tell about what do you want me? Yeah, say yes. Shit.
I would love it.
Keyshia Cole is coming on the podcast. You heard DJ Mormile. That's the manager. He's going to manage the situation, and we're going to make it happen. So, DJ, what's next for you?
I mean,
especially in this R&B space.
Well, I think there's a very unique thing, actually. Mike just dropped his album. Like, we just dropped Reset. It's a long time between albums, and I think it's a really special project. He really touched on a bunch of certain things, a couple of songs that are really impressive. One of them is it's the song AAA, and it's with Suge Ram. He's a spectacular Carnatic singer from the Bay and India, back and forth.
Okay,
but he's a legend, and they have started working together, but if you listen to that record, you could hear the beginnings of it. But some of the music I've heard with the two of them, I think is the most groundbreaking shit I've heard in a long time, and it's really special. And like, Mike is a genius, and like, when he sets his mind to something, especially as far as breaking somebody and entering somebody into, and this is on a level that I think is going to be very, very special, and we'll see how it all turns out. But I've heard a couple of the other records, and it's magic.
Yeah.
And like, so to hear that, like, you know, I've been blessed to work on a lot of incredible things. So for me to feel that way, I feel like it's something like that excites me.
Shit, I trust.
And it's somebody I met a couple years ago, and then I was working with, and then I was like, my dream for him to meet Mike, and then they did, and then obviously it just like,
it's all come together.
It's like better than I hoped. So like, and then like, you could hear it off this song. It's really catching. Like, let's check out AAA on Mike's album Reset. But like, it's magic, and I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
Yeah. What's the artist name again?
Suge Ram.
Sid
Sriram.
Sid Sriram.
Suram.
Okay.
Sid Sriram. And
Sid
he's from up like Fremont, up by your area, and then India. So back and forth, and it's like, you know, it's
Fremont, India.
Fremont, India, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Fremont, India is exactly where he's from. No, but like,
Sid, you from the Bay, dog?
Yeah, but no, he's from the Bay. Like, I mean, like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. What we got over here, man? Let's get talented. Yeah.
Your top 5.
Come on, we want to know it.
Top 5.
I love this
Your
song.
top 5. R&B singers. R&B songs. We've got to know before you go here on this show.
Come on.
Everybody want to know.
What they want to know?
Your top 5. Yes. No. Top 5.
Come on, Dave.
Your top 5.
That's incredible.
Come on, we want to know your top 5, dog.
That's incredible. I feel like Tank is here.
He would have been singing it louder.
He would have been singing it louder.
Yeah.
He would have been doing his. I know it. I feel it.
Yeah. No matter how loud Ruben turns it up,
I feel
or
it.
turns it down.
I feel it. That's my guy, by the way. I appreciate it. I mean, I have just real quick for top 5. I have a great Tank. Literally, I was by my house, and he must have been walking out of me. He walked right in front of my car, and I like jammed the brakes, and I was like, "Bro!" And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like.
You just randomly.
Like, you're gonna look up, or like, this is like part of what you do. Like, yeah, it was right, and I was like, it was like incredible. He's like something like, I don't remember if it was like a dentist or something. I forgot what he said, because I was terrified that like I was gonna, like I was like, I almost ran over R&B royalty. That was like insane.
Yeah, don't run over
but
Tank,
like,
yeah.
but it was like, but man, love Tank, and like, yeah, but that song is amazing. That's definitely. Can I put that in my top 5?
If you want
Has
to.
anybody ever put that song in the top 5?
They haven't. I don't think so. But you can if you want to. Listen,
that could be 5A.
It's a jam. It's a jam.
That could be 5A.
So, okay, so we got.
We doing songs first, or
we're gonna
artists
do
first?
top 5 R&B singers first.
I'm gonna go more things, like, because I feel like just setting for my list, I'm gonna go more people like that affected me in like my lifetime, as opposed to like obviously the Stevies and the Michaels and all those guys who are incredible. I'm gonna do the things that like came in my what my life and what I listened to, and what so first off, which is what got me into the genre at all, would be Jodeci, who was like the first. Like, I remember being a kid and like.
So you taking the group? You taking the whole group?
Yes.
Jodeci
as one. Yeah,
Jodeci
but like that moment, like I'm thinking of like projects, albums, like that's what it was.
Got you.
2, I mean, for everything, the GOAT, as far as I'm concerned, R. Kelly. There's no, like, as far as songs, as far as, like, what he is, what those records were, and just, like, what the fuck, like, over and over, and 100%ers and everything.
Yeah.
R. Kelly is...
Absolutely. King of R&B.
The king of R&B. Third, Usher, who
Yes,
has
sir.
maintained for such an incredible long time and has, like, recreated himself, and what he's done just across decades is remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the greatest reclamation story of all time, Chris Brown, who I think is the, like, shit. It's hard to, like, just what he's done, dealt with, come back from, and just the person, the performer, the artist he is
Second to none.
second to absolutely none.
Yeah.
And then fifth, there's no way I'm doing a list without Keisha Cole. So Keisha Cole is 5.
There we
And
go.
that's my favorite R&B female singer of all time.
Yeah.
And there are other incredible ones, obviously. But if you talk about my top 5
Yeah.
artists, that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Very simple.
And I love that top 5. All right, now we're going to go top 5 R&B songs.
Okay. Again, 5 songs that very much influenced my life in different places.
Okay.
The first one is The Great Pretender by the Platters.
Huh.
Legitimately,
Yes.
my father, I remember driving to baseball games, and my father is a Platters fanatic. So he would play that Greatest Hits album.
Yeah.
And it was Great Pretender, Twilight Time, Only You. I'm trying to remember, like, off the top of my head, but, like,
You hearing that every day.
and The Great Pretender to this day
Uh-huh.
is, like, it reminds me of such an incredible time
Yeah. That's
that,
what music's
like-
supposed to do.
that, like, it just, to me, that's like, when I think of it, I'm like it makes me so happy, and I'll remember it, like, for the rest of my life, and it'll
Yeah,
bring me back
that's dope.
to being in that car and driving to Shea Stadium or whatever, and, like, those records playing in the car.
Yeah.
Second is probably my favorite song Interscope Records has ever put out,
Okay.
which is No Diggity by Blackstreet.
A fucking jam.
So Blackstreet, I remember
Yeah.
when they made that record, like, the very first thing I did, the very first day I ever visited Jimmy, the first summer that is I picked up Teddy and Chauncey from the airport. So, like, and brought him to,
Hey, bro, your life, dog.
it's crazy. And I brought him to Gary Shandling's house to watch a movie with Warren Beatty. So, like, that was the first hour I was in Los Angeles. So, but that song is one of my legit
It's crazy.
favorite songs
Yeah.
ever, and, like, Dre coming in, remember the girl Queen Pen on the end, the Teddy, but, like, that song was just, I can remember the video, everything about it just made me happy.
It's crazy you mentioned Warren Beatty. I meet Warren Beatty randomly when I go to meet Jimmy my first time when I'm 18 years old.
Well,
I go to me and Damon Thomas go to Jimmy's house. Because at the time, everybody was trying to sign me as an artist when I first got to LA. And we got invited to, like, one of his parties. I think he was at the Malibu house still. I think it was Malibu, maybe. I'm not sure. If I'm 18, this is...
he moved in 99.
Yep. This is 98, 97, 98 or something like
He was
that.
working on Bullworth.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Well, that's what it was. So that's what the movie
So
was.
you know I ain't fucking lying.
No, 100%.
And we're walking in, and Warren Beatty has the biggest head I think I've ever seen on a human. I don't know why, and I haven't
I can
seen him
see that.
since. I haven't seen him since, but maybe I'm just a kid and I'm 18, but I'm like, yo, his head is fucking big. Is this what movie stars look like? This
Yeah,
is what
their
I'm
heads
thinking.
in Hollywood
I'm
it
like,
inflates. Yeah.
in Hollywood, they got big ass heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Tyrese the same height, but he looks taller than me because his head is bigger than mine. I'm like, you got to have a big head to be a Hollywood superstar. But Warren Beatty has the biggest head I ever seen in my life on a human, and I'm like, yo, that's Warren fucking Beatty. And he's just walking out like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, this shit is different.
No, yeah, it was a very, yeah.
Yeah, so that's I met Warren Beatty story
But
when
it's
I was
funny
a
'cause-
fucking
but
kid.
Blackstreet was I always a big Blackstreet fan. I love Teddy and
Yeah.
and that, yeah. That one.
Okay,
was
so No
second.
Diggity.
Third, I mean, another probably maybe my favorite song of all is R. Kelly remix to Ignition, which is like, and it was a song
Hiding
that
fresh out the kitchen.
like that I could picture like was Jimmy's favorite song for so long, and it would be like playing somewhere, and it'd be like it was like the remix to Ignition would come on at the party, and it would be like, what the hell? Like it was like
Yeah.
so remix to Ignition brings back incredible memories for me, and I absolutely love that record. Fourth, probably my favorite real, like, not that No Diggity isn't a real R&B song, but like R&B song, I Should Have Cheated, which is my favorite Keyshia Cole record, which is like, when I heard that, I like just the pain, just the energy. I was like, that's when I knew. Like, that's when I knew Keyshia.
Yeah.
What, like, that's when I was like, oh, okay, she could be like that one.
Deron
like,
and Q from
yeah,
112.
112, yep. Like, and is like Keisha's an incredible writer in her own right.
Yeah.
But that song, like, I was like, I Should Have Cheated, still my favorite. Like, I fight for it to be in every set. Every time we do anything, I'm like,
it has to be.
It has to be. I'm like, I like, it's my, and then we already talked about it, so I kind of already, already discussed why this song is so important to me. But my fifth song, which is the only time, like, in my, like, we cracked the code and released a record that was so infectious, is Turning Me On. Turning Me On, Keri, Hilson, and Lil Wayne. And that was so impactful to my life because we figured it out and we broke through.
You broke an
with
artist off it. Yeah.
And then that went into Knock You Down, which went into all of that.
Yeah.
But like, that song was, and like honorable mention to Promise, because that was such a special moment with us with Polo when he slowed it down when everybody wanted him to speed it up, and him and Jasper made that record. That was a really cool moment and all that stuff. But
top 6.
Those are my top 5s.
And top 5. Oh, and Tank's top 5.
Well, Tank, well, top 7 really, because Tank's top 5 is
it's a two-part.
Tank's top 5 really deserves to be like, it doesn't get enough credit, I don't think.
It don't get enough. No, listen, he just like on Versus, he made up the turtleneck song. Like, he made up. We talked about segments and we needed segments. He made up that song on the spot. He's like, oh, I got one. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
He's the best.
Top 5.
He's the best, but I believe he made that up on the spot.
For sure. And each version is different.
Sounds like a song I would make up. Like, where I could pick up a word and make
every
something.
song,
but
every version of it though is different.
Yeah, no,
He is the remix to Ignition for the top 5.
I mean, Tank is funny as fuck. So he's like,
yeah,
he's 101 as well.
All right, so now let's get into your Voltron.
The Voltron thing is interesting.
Where you build this super R&B artist from top to bottom. The vocals, the stage performance, the styling, and the passion behind the artist. Or the passion of the artist. So first, if you're building your perfect R&B singer, Megatron, Voltron, who's the vocals? Who's singing the songs?
I feel like it's impossible for it, to me, not to be Whitney Houston. As much as like I want to say like it's not
Whitney
from my
Houston
time.
Is Whitney Houston,
yeah,
bro.
I know. Like, so it's kind of hard for it not to be
No.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney
Like,
Houston is your singer.
I guess Whitney Houston's my singer.
Whose stage performance? Like, who is going to kill the show as a performer?
Making you choose between Chris and Usher is unfair, but I guess.
You want to do the slash?
No, I mean, literally, like.
You want to do Chris Raymond, Usher Brown?
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Jesus, like, two absolutely incredible. But
are you choosing one over the other? I mean,
I hear you. I'm like,
you doing this?
I should have done it beforehand, but I didn't. So I'm really thinking it on the fly.
If you can't decide, I'm just gonna do Usher Brown.
Yeah, Usher Brown. Slash it for me.
All right, Usher Brown.
As much as I like competitive and being that, I would be Usher Brown.
Who gonna put the fly shit on though?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah was fly. Aaliyah was
like,
fly.
I mean, there's some great ones. Like, there's some absolutely great ones.
No, Aaliyah was fly.
Tiana's great. Maya's great. A lot great. But Aaliyah.
Aaliyah was fly. Who got the passion? Who makes you feel it? Just that you just see them and you just like, they living this shit.
Keisha J. Blige. I mean, but it's Keisha Cole. I mean, I love Mary, but it's Keisha
J. Blige is fucking great.
And honor to Chris, because like what he's been through for sure.
Yeah.
Like, just that passion just to be here is insane. But like, I'm riding with Keisha till the wheels fall off. So that's what I mean. Like that's
okay. And I'm gonna give you this one. Who's the record executive that gets to have this artist?
Who's the executive?
Who's the executive that you know is going to make sure this artist sells 1 trillion records?
L.A. Reid.
Come on, record man.
I saw how he got Unforgettable from me. Like, you gotta like
you respect it.
Like,
you gotta respect it.
Don't get me wrong, Jimmy's a monster in so many ways, but we're going R&B and going here with those kind of things.
L.A. Reid.
L.A. Reid. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the jump on the table. I've seen all of it. You give me like,
to this day, L.A. not fucking around.
No.
He not fucking around. If he believe in something, he gonna fight. Nah, I love that. No, that was great, bro.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great. That's a great Voltron.
I think so.
It's a great executive to bring it all home.
Yep, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask me like producer, but then you went
No,
executive.
no.
I was not prepared. I
know you wasn't. I was
like, oh wow, okay.
I'm throwing you curveballs, bro.
Okay.
Because you're not a producer, you're an executive. So I'm not.
I am not a producer.
No,
you're very, very right.
No, you're an executive. So that's why you gotta tell us who your top for that artist, who that is, and that's L.A. Reid. We got one more section, man. What we got? What we got? Before we let you go, Ruben got something else for you real quick.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names.
Hey,
I ain't saying no names.
Yeah,
I ain't saying no name. Who you was, who you with, what you did.
What?
Don't say shit. I ain't saying no name.
Very important part of the show, where you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up. The only rule to the game, DJ can't tell us no names.
I don't think I've ever told a story without saying names, so
No,
this is gonna be fun.
yeah,
but
yeah.
all right, I got two. If
Okay,
you want 'em.
come on.
Like,
What you got?
So, very first year I'm in, I come to visit.
Mm-hmm.
I go to lunch with one of my boys, who's meeting another guy who works in the industry, and they start talking, and I'm just there. I'm just a fly on the wall. I wasn't really whatever. I'm just there, and they start talking. And they are talking about how to make it in the industry and trying to come up as young A&Rs and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, they start talking about how, well, I guess I can't say any names. Someone's nephew now works at Interscope Records, and he's going to try to take somebody's job, and man, that's why we all got to stick together. Now, mind to say, I'm sitting at the table
You're
with the
part
two
of
of them.
the stick together?
So I'm jumping into this conversation being like, yeah, man, that shit is crazy. Like, you got to like make sure like this doesn't happen, and you got to make sure like people like nepotism is crazy. It's like, I can't believe they let that happen because like he didn't earn it. Now I'm just like diving into this because I think it's hysterical. Like at this point, I have no interest in working in the music industry. I'm literally just visiting, and I'm like, this is the funniest shit in the whole universe. Shit. So I literally took place in this like full shit talking meal about
you.
Well, I don't know who it was. I can't say any names. So it was somebody's nephew, and it was literally absolutely incredible.
Oh, that
but like,
is
so that
great.
is like, and still to this day, it's like absolutely hysterical. But like, yeah, that was legitimately amazing. And then,
Well, you can say your name.
I can say my name.
Yeah, they were clearly talking about you. We know that. So my question though is that, did you ever, at any point, did you ever be like, y'all remember when y'all was talking about
Years
me?
later. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. But
Obviously, they realized it eventually.
well, I don't like,
Like, oh,
you know, it was
shit.
kind of like
was
I don't
him.
remember, but like it was like, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Amazing. Second, so for a long time have made obviously restaurants my home, like where I like ever since I stopped working at Interscope. I've kind of like moved around. I've been other places, but I kind of like I liked that energy. So the only way I could rebuild that was by moving into restaurants, and that's kind of how like to make it like kind of like my own world as opposed to like sitting in a satellite office. It kind of feels like a library. But I started doing that early on, and this is when I was still at Interscope. I had a client, and the client was doing really well, but they were approaching the end of their deal with me.
Okay.
And I honestly don't even believe in deal. I'm very much a handshake person when it comes to management. So this was like a weird situation, but it just happened that way. But like a conversation come up with another executive who reached out to me about possibly partnering about this artist, about this client. And I explained to them why it couldn't happen. And then not that I didn't like the idea, but I was already in a situation, so it couldn't happen. We go back and forth, and I'm like, listen, I'm a very straight shooter. I'm like, listen, like my situation, like I don't know what this artist is thinking, but if they, I'm hoping we work together because we're doing really well. But if it doesn't work out, like I understand business is business.
Yeah.
Like shit happens. Like if it's something like I don't control people. Like I'm a businessman, so I understand. I won't feel any type of way, whatever. Person says there is zero chance now that you've told me what it is that I would ever do that. Like the relationship isn't worth it. It's just not. worth it. Like my guy and your guy's relationship is too big. This is too big. Everything is too big. There is no reason it is not. There's nothing about it that's worth it. And I go, okay, but I was like, you don't got to do all that. But all right, fine, whatever. He goes, no, for sure, beat it to death. Okay, cool. Needless to say, a couple months later, the contract runs out. The person, we don't continue. It goes, and the person ends up working with the other person. I reach out like, hey, what's up? No response. No response. No response. And literally the text that I'll never forget is, I got to feed my kids. And that was it. And it just kind of like, I was like, but I said it was fine. Like, what? Like, why go through all that extra? But, and the reason I brought up the restaurant is that the meeting actually happened at Jerry's Deli in Westwood, where I started making people come to visit me at times because I was like, this is funny, making all these hotshots come to a deli and eat a turkey sandwich with me instead of going sit at their cool guy fancy places. But like, which was also in Westwood, right by the Jerry's, but there were a lot of Jerry's. But so that was like, so the first one was really funny and it's kind of fucked up. The second one was just really fucked up and just shows like how, I mean, at the end of the day, it was what it was. It was a deal that was like, nothing was taken. The deal was up and it was just like the mindset, like I have to lie, even though you're giving me the opportunity to not lie. Like I just have to say the opposite of what would make it easy for no reason.
Now, you know what though, DJ? I got to feed my kids.
Yeah. I'm hungry. They want to go to Burger King.
They want to go to, feed my kids. Fuck. Yeah. This is the business that we're in.
Yeah.
It's a business. Not even that the business that we're in. It's business.
It is.
You know, and everybody handles their business the way they do.
I just couldn't believe went that far out of their way.
Yeah, to say that,
to just say the exact opposite of what they were going to do.
Yeah,
when it didn't matter.
It
wasn't like they were trying to take somebody who had years left and like it was like, okay, no matter what, I'm not a real contract guy, but when you sign a contract, the reason is because when it's up, you get to make another decision. That's basically the concept. Yeah. Like, so there's no like, I'm like a very logical person. Yeah. Obviously, there's emotion involved in everything. You work hard on things, but still, it was like, and I was like, this is wild. But like, I was like, all right. I was like, that's cool.
Hey man. But, You've had an amazing career, and you're having an amazing career, bro.
I appreciate that.
This has been cool.
It's really been a blast. Bro. Like watching you grow to what you guys have built this thing to is incredible.
Thank you.
Like knowing you a long time and watching you and seeing how good you are at it. I mean, honestly, and to be fair, you're, if not the person, one of the 2 or 3 people that convinced me to do it myself. So but what you guys have done is incredible and it's a blast and I love watching it and I love getting a chance to be a part of it.
Nah, man, thank you. And before we get out of here, man, I want to say too, I had a blast at your wedding. The fact that you did the Crank That Soulja Boy with Soulja Boy at your wedding and also had the Yin Yang Twins.
That was the fact that I was able to have
incredible.
The fact that I was able to get people to stay, like, and everybody assumed because I said, the greatest rap group of all time is closing the wedding, and like obviously like Paul and everybody, like, I'm from Staten Island. They're like the Wu-Tang Clan is coming, who is like my, but I love the Yin. They're in a better party in the world.
They turn shit up.
So I mean, Soulja Boy was incredible. Will, what he did was amazing. Timbaland was. I mean, the fact that everybody showed up and really showed out for me, it was an absolute blast. I mean, my wife, like everything she put into that was insane, but it was an incredible night, and I appreciate you for being there. But it was,
I wouldn't have missed it.
It was a blast.
You know how I feel about you and your wife, man. Y'all my peoples, bro.
It was a blast.
No, so thank you for pulling up on me, bro. This is gonna be great. We dressed alike, and
except you don't have. I don't. You don't have screamy socks on.
No, I don't.
My daughter.
He's a real
Ella,
girl dad.
Every time I got like 30 different pairs of these socks with different pictures of her and stuff. So I wear it every single day.
I wish we still had the FakeWork run so you could hoop in those, bro. DJ can shoot the ball, just so y'all know this. He don't do much sweating and running.
Standing still.
If he catch and shoot,
if there was a standstill Olympics, I'm a Michael Phelps type athlete.
His catch and shoot is deadly. This motherfucker can shoot the ball.
Air condition. If there's air conditioning and somebody brings me an iced tea, I could do almost anything. That's basically the whole thing.
Hey, listen. I'm Jay Valentine. This is the R&B Money Podcast, and this is my brother DJ Mormile. I'll see y'all next week.